Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Mining for All. I have millions of gold miners. Chapter 81. Your natal artifact Aurora is devouring the natal magic flame of lava Balrog. Your multicolored Aurora sword is being upgraded. The flame of hell has been swallowed up to a gold level weapon. The multicolored Aurora sword continues to devour the flame demon blood flame, has evolved to the top golden weapon. A series of news made Yi Bai speechless. After paying so much, it's finally time to reap the rewards. Now the promotion of the Aurora sword is more than that, there are too many treasures in the flame demon. The only unfortunate thing is that, probably because he was killed by tricks, his huge experience points did not make Yi Bai advance. The Aurora sword is devouring the law fragments in the blood of the Balrog, and has successfully evolved into a platinum level weapon. Platinum level Aurora sword is swallowing the power of its epic domain, and has broken through to diamond level weapons. Until this time, the Aurora sword in the flames was a little calm. Different from the multicolored light before, the current Aurora sword is surrounded by a layer of blood-colored magic flames. Like light and dark, there is both holy light and magic flame. Ding! Congratulations on your natal artifact, which has devoured the whip of hell and evolved into a top diamond level weapon. In the future, you can kill the enemy, absorb the blood of the enemy, and continue to evolve the law. With a loud bang, like a divine sword coming out of one's body. This brand new lightsaber revolved around Yi Bai's body, completing the earth-shaking change. Become very spiritual, very psychic. It can even attack and defend itself against the enemy. Its already fierce defense breaking and flight ability have been epically enhanced. Yi Bai held this lightsaber, and when he noticed the excitement it expressed, he laughed even more. With it, even gold level and platinum level monsters can break defenses by themselves. No, even the diamond level can be tested. As long as the defense can be broken, then there is hope for everything. A little bit of damage can pile up to death. Yi Bai fell in love with the new sword and murmured. It's a bit common to call you the Aurora sword now, but in the future you will be called the Wanren Holy Light sword. The lightsaber sent out a burst of joy, looking very happy. Yi Bai's body also gradually withdraws from the light giant form. The Wanren Holy Light sword also becomes smaller, which is the convenience of the natal weapon, and it can become larger or smaller at will. Brother Mine Owner, are you alright? Mine Owner, all the gold around us has disappeared, this time the excavation is in vain. At this time, the gold miner, Alice and others ran out from the Jurassic forest on the side. The miners wanted to cry without tears, and the boxes that had been full of rewards were now completely empty. Alice and Maya were full of joy, as long as they were safe and sound. The Balrog corpse on the side is as high as 100 meters. Although it has fallen, the epic power it contains is still trembling. Yi Bai quickly ordered, "Wait a minute, there's still a bit of hellfire here, and it's still dangerous. Don't get close." He was about to touch the corpse when he approached under pressure. Unexpectedly, the body of the lava Balrog suddenly set itself on fire, just as Yi Bai was puzzled. In the blood-colored fire, a blood-red card with a material like a blood jade carving gradually emerged. It was the color of a card he had never seen before. Yi Bai reached out his hand carefully to catch it, and a solemn reminder came from his ear. Congratulations on successfully completing the impossible challenge, bravely dashing 5 kilometers underground, and killing the first Hell Lord of the epic boss, the Lava Balrog. Congratulations for getting the 5000th level ultimate reward, SSS level world card. All the beginning and end of the Super God level world deck Arid series, Lorraine Dungeon. Yi Bai was stunned the moment he heard the voice. Staring blankly at the card in his hand, there are towering ancient trees on the card, and there are snow-capped mountains with thick smoke in the distance. There are scorch marks in the forest on the side, and an ancient space portal was erected. A beautiful elf girl with white hair and red eyes was standing by to welcome him. It turned out to be the legendary world card. And it's SSS level. What a Super God level suit series. At this moment, he felt that his act of piling up the flame demon was extremely correct. This is a treasure that can be encountered and cannot be sought. There are few pieces in the entire blue star. He looked at the card information tremblingly. Lowland Dungeon, the town of all beginnings and ends, the origin of the continent of Arid. Possessing it will create an aggregation effect, meeting other cards of the Arid series. It includes SSS level world card, Castle in the Sky, SSS level world card, Dark City, SSS level pet card, Sky Curtain Monster, etc. If you collect all the cards, you will become the Lord of Arad. As an SSS level world card, after using it, you will get an ancient dungeon. It has a good defense and various well-equipped buildings. It has its own tavern, blacksmith shop, training ground, job transfer hall, etc. Comes with 4 professional career transfers: swordsman, magician, sharpshooter, and cleric. At the same time, it can also produce fixed minerals and trees every day, summon dungeon warriors every day, and occasionally summon elves. There seems to be some hidden area, perhaps only known after use. This is the world card. Get a piece of territory directly and become the dungeon master. It also comes with 4 major career transfers, taking into account melee, distance, fort, etc. Yi Bai's current gold mine is still very crude, and many infrastructures are lacking. But with Lorraine Dungeon, it's just one step to the sky. He originally thought that the goal of his life's struggle was to build a dungeon and become the city owner. Command thousands of guards and build a large crystal palace. Drunk on the knees of a beauty, wake up and rule the world. I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Is this achieved? And this seems to be the origin of a set of decks. What do you get when you put them together? An entire continent. Mom, 3 days ago, I didn't dare to dream so big. Yi Bai was speechless for a long time. At the same time, the world announcement that has been immersed for a long time comes, and it is an unprecedented continuous bombing. World announcement. Congratulations to the gold miner. Yi Bai bravely broke through the SSS plus Devil Grand Canyon at the speed of light, successfully broke through 5,000 meters, and completed the unprecedented ultimate challenge. World announcement. Congratulations to Yi Bai for his incredible skills. With the body of silver, successfully killed the epic regional lord, the Lava Balrog. The world shakes, hell shakes, personal prestige rises. The name of the gold mine is spread in the underground world to a small extent. Epic event is born. The 855th newcomer king, Yi Bai successfully completed the impossible challenge. Kill epic Balrogs with silver rank and complete true epic achievements. Loaded into the underground history, and left a heavy mark in the history of exploration of the 2 worlds. Yi Bai's personal fame plus 100, reaching epic achievements, there will be epic light. In the chat room, the return is less than an hour away. And because Yi Bai's wealth plummeted, it was not a big deal for everyone to watch the fun. He was blowing wildly inside, making fun of Yi Bai. They all felt that the gold mine was bankrupt, and they also speculated whether it was robbed or not. Otherwise, why are more than 600,000 points missing? It's about to return, equivalent to star coins. I'm afraid there is 800 billion yuan. How much purchasing power is this? This is a number that will hurt the country, and it is difficult for everyone to imagine what happened to Yi Bai, which almost made him go bankrupt. There are various conclusions, and finally everyone reaches a consensus. Yi Bai pills. But at this time, suddenly, bombarded repeatedly. The 3 world announcements stunned everyone, especially what epic event. Even the special effects of fireworks appear on the panel, which seems to be celebrating this historical moment. And when the stunned people heard the content, they opened their mouths wide and their eyes were dull, so unbelievable that they might have heard it wrong. After being silent for a full 3 seconds, there were unprecedented sensations, explosions, and discussions in the chat room. Did I hear it right? Or is there something wrong with the world? What did Boss Yi do just now? Silver level. He was promoted to silver. That's not the point. The point is that he killed the epic boss. And it is also the famous Balrog. This is the top bloodline of the underground world and the dragon. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. I dare not do it even in my dreams. In the face of epic, ordinary people are afraid that they can't even get close. He can't even break the defense. How can he kill? Could it be that in just a few seconds, the huge amount of wealth that has dropped sharply is the secret of Yi Shen's success? He killed the Balrog with money. This TM will do too. Really rich money can make a ghost run the mill. All the previous doubts, guesses, and laughter were shattered in front of the 3 explosion-like announcements. The conclusion of Yi Bai's pill, which was widely discussed, seemed extremely ridiculous at this time. Many people were stunned, unable to believe that this happened. Epic, what is this concept? In Blue Star, you can become the lord of a small country, even in Yan Kingdom. That's also one of the few town-level bigwigs, a big hero often seen on TV. And now tell them, Yi Bai, as a rookie, successfully killed an epic. Isn't this the big joke of the slippery world? According to scientists' calculations, even if Li Qian's used a super nuclear bomb, the Big Ivan could not kill the epic creature. Unless they don't run or hide, they stay at the center of the nuclear explosion, which is possible. Moreover, the epic boss has strange methods, and there are also methods such as avatars and body regeneration, etc. Even among the countless epic powerhouses on Blue Star, many of them have no record of killing monsters of the same level. But now, a newcomer in just 3 days has done it. Mu Lingwei replied dryly, "We are witnessing history." "No, we are in history right now." Some gold diggers replied to Daokin in this way. "This is a great event recorded in the history of the world, and it will live on forever. And we, as witnesses and testers of the same period, were recorded in the history books together. Haha, I didn't expect my old Zhang to have this honor, so I went back immediately. I'm going to break the news to the media. Yi boss, no, it's the legend of Yi Shen for 3 days." Within 3 days, the level of discussion never had before. A piece of information spewed out like a tsunami. Only in this way can the shock and confusion in the hearts of everyone be vented. But just when everyone thought it was so terrifying, there were bursts of announcements that followed. At this moment, the Blue Star at the same time. Various welcome ceremonies are being prepared around the world as the 855th batch of gold diggers is about to return. Yan Kingdom, Guangcheng No. 1 Middle School. Principal Chen is leading the teachers to wait in the playground. In the school, colorful flags fluttered and red banners were pulled up. The most eye-catching banner reads, "Congratulations to our student Yi Bai for winning the 855th Newcomer King." There was a dense crowd outside the playground. There are many parents who are both nervous and anxiously waiting. Not only was he afraid that his children would not be able to come back due to an accident, but he also hoped that they would be promoted to mine owners. No matter how bad it is, you can bring back a sum of gold and realize the freedom of wealth. In addition, there are people from Lanxiang, Penguin, New Oriental and other consortiums on the side. They want to acquire products at the first time and recruit mine owners. Among them, the most popular is Teacher Li. She still can't believe that she has taught the Rookie King. "Mr. Li, tell us more about Yi's hard study experience at school." There were several reporters around her to interview. Similar conversations have happened dozens of times in the past few days. Mr. Li's excitement from the beginning to now numbness. This time, when Yi comes back, the state will give him a medal for his contribution. Even the official has come. Her status is not small, she is a beautiful young lady with eyes. But at this time, when someone was sorting out the data on the computer on the side, suddenly found that it automatically pops up a pop-up window. Underground History Record Update, New Birth Epic Event. Whenever something big happens in the underground world, its laws are automatically inscribed in history and recorded for future generations to read. The first sentence on the first page is "Underground World appears, converging with Blue Star." So far, the people who can leave a legacy in the underground history are the great figures who are famous for the ages. At this moment, this reminder pop-up window automatically pops up on tens of millions of computers. Many people's hearts skipped a beat. What happened to 580 again? They quickly clicked to check, and they were stunned as if they were struck by lightning. It is not only the people of Blue Star who see historical changes on the computer. Every corner of the underground world, in various mines and territories. Any object that records history will automatically start writing. On the personal panel, information about the underground history. In the latest segment, the update starts automatically. Epic event: the 855th Newcomer King, from Yi Bai of the Yan Kingdom, bravely entered the SSS-level Devil Grand Canyon and went deep into the ground 5,000 meters. With the body of silver, he successfully killed the primary epic level, the Lord of Hell, the Lava Balrog. For the first time ever, it broke the world record. A simple sentence, but it shocked thousands of people and couldn't believe it. This is my student. When the news came, the whole playground was boiling. Principal Chen and Teacher Li of No. 1 Middle School were stunned and ran to check the computer in disbelief. The faces of the consortium personnel changed greatly, and they called their superiors one after another. The official staff has received an emergency call, and the governor is coming in person. More importantly, he came here in the name of Xingtong. The governor is a big man who is in charge of a province and hundreds of cities, and his strength is the lowest, and he has to take the responsibility of the holy rank. This news completely ignited the neighborhood of No. 1 middle school, and all the teachers and parents were boiling. More than this place, the media news of the Yan Kingdom quickly reports the changes of history. Shocking change. This issue of the new king makes history and kills epic monsters. The new future of Yan Kingdom, the update of underground history, epic events, is it a trick or a myth? From the remote Guangcheng, the legend named Yi. More than the domestic media. Even the Sun and Moon newspapers abroad announced the birth of a new CJBF history, the fall of an epic, and even the super rookie king from the Yan Kingdom. The birth of a myth. Yi Bai, a newcomer of the Yan Kingdom, successfully killed an epic monster. The annual super rookie king has not been decided yet. Where did the boy named Yi come from? The gap between silver creatures and epics, we experience the legend. The tsunami of doubts and shocks from the outside world naturally made the gold diggers in the underground world unaware. However, a group of powerful mine owners discovered the historical changes for the first time. How did he do it? According to the computer division, epic monsters with the power to destroy a million-populated city. Can miracles be replicated? Is it a coincidence that such an achievement was achieved in just 3 days? At all costs, draw him into the group. In the undercurrent fluctuations, this group of gold diggers is still unaware. And all of this will burst out an hour later, when we return. Hee, guess. I won't tell you how I got there. Yi Bai glanced slightly, the boiling chat room. You can almost imagine the madness of everyone who heard the news. He laughed complacently, not intending to reveal the secret. What is the scariest thing? The most terrifying unknown. When are nuclear bombs most dangerous? On the launch pad. As long as Yi Bai doesn't say anything, everyone's heart palpitates. Don't dare to guess the strength of the gold mine. Don't dare to fight against it. The aftermath of this big event is obviously more than that. Just as everyone was discussing, another sudden announcement sounded. World announcement. Congratulations to Yi Bai for accomplishing an unprecedented feat in obtaining all the beginning and ending towns of the SSS level world card. Lorraine Dungeon. This card relationship is the initial card of the Super God level World Suit Arid series, which is the lost ancient continent. I hope Yi Bai can complete it and bring Arid back. Legendary world card. Still SSS level. This news shook everyone's fragile hearts. But compared to his beheading results, this reward seems less exaggerated. A gold digger can only say sadly. Belonging to the same group of testers, he already owns a dungeon and has completed our ultimate goal. The gap between people is bigger than that between dogs and dogs. Quote. A well-known second-generation mine sighed. Why did the efforts of several generations of our family lose to Yi Bai's 3 days? Decades of struggle is nothing compared to his birth. Yi Shen has completed the primitive accumulation, and I am afraid that he will not need to ask for help in the future. The successive announcements made everyone feel a little dizzy. They don't know what means Yi Bai used to achieve the miracle. I don't know where the Devil's Grand Canyon is, and how there is such a rich treasure. Not to mention whether Yi Bai's disappearance of massive wealth is related to the fall of the epic. You said whether it was possible, Yi Bai took advantage of it. Spend a lot of money to hire an underground legend, seriously injure an epic monster, and then make up for the final blow yourself. There are all kinds of guesses surrounding his mystery. You are so outrageous. I prefer to believe that it was he who used massive wealth to activate a certain super ancient weapon. This is the most likely way to kill the epic flame demon with one cannonball. The problem is, the flame demon is not stupid and can't hide. In short, there are all kinds of speculations. This time Yi Bai is really famous all over the world. The second generation of mines who hated him before, Johnson is already full of despair, waiting for the final judgment. My Phoenix Bloodstone, my meteorite crystal, my 200,000 wealth. Johnson was slumped on the ground, holding the baby he had exchanged for his life in pain. He said before that Yi Bai's hard work will be his wedding dress. Unexpectedly, a word became a prophecy, and now it falls on his head. Yi Bai on the other end looked at the wealth value of 450,000. It was a little painful, but soon recovered. With the SSS class world card, everything is worth it. What's more, there will be nearly 200,000 fortunes that Johnson lost to me later. Haha, I didn't expect the enemy to give me blood transfusion. Yi Bai looked at the other party's wealth. Johnson worked very hard, and even put it together, and got a few rare treasures and tons of gold. There are also 200,000 points, equivalent to star coins. It is estimated that there are 2 or 300 billion yuan. But it's about to be my own. The valuation of the dungeon cards in hand has not been taken into account, and the cautious evaluation given by the world is 1 million points. But in fact, if it is put up for auction, it can hollow out the wealth of a small country. I don't know how many people will do whatever it takes to smash it down. Because of it, it means becoming the lord of the underground world. Brother, too many things happened today. I've always felt that the canyon has mad malice towards us. Quote. Alice carefully looked at the traces of the Balrog's disappearance at this time, and found that the canyon had been messed up by them. Its demonic energy condensed into substantial malice, forming a grimace, roaring and angry at them. Yi Bai put away the world card preciously, touched the towering gate of hell, and murmured in his heart. The cards are all used up, and this provocation of the canyon, it is really impossible to continue to be arrogant. The harvest of this trip is perfect. Only one last period left. The full stop is to open the gate of hell, and he doesn't know what the world's way is. Just when the hand touched the threshold, a message popped up. Do you open the gate of hell? There is also a solemn reminder. The opening of the gate of hell will have an important impact on the entire underground world. Please be extra careful. It's always a good thing, right? Yi Bai's top-notch experience brought him a little future inspiration. Pushing the door open isn't too bad, it adds a lot of surprises. But now is not a good time to open. His own employees are all here, and Yi Bai looks up to the horizon. At this moment, the sun is setting in the west, shining on the canyon, which is quiet and gloomy. Grandpas have worked hard, and Alice and Maya. Yi Bai glanced at everyone present. The gold miners have tired eyes, gray bodies, and occasional wounds. But fortunately, the staff was complete, and no one had an accident. Among them are 100 kobolds, 100 outsourced employees Mole, newly joined Dubai, Bezu. And, still unconvinced, the silver beast was tied to the side. Yi Bai and Alice exhorted. There are still Zawan and Grandpa Hulu waiting for you in the mine, and you have been away for so long. They are all in a hurry. If there is a monster coveted, it is too simple to rely on the piranha. Dubai, Bezu, and pangolins, listen to Alice's command and carry everyone back. Alice asked worriedly, how about you, brother? Are you going home? Yi Bai touched the gate of hell and grinned. I'm going to open this door first and then go back. With the staff here, Yi Bai still has some scruples. Yi Bai was ready to use the world item after he told them to go back to guard the house. Brother, remember to come back early. The mine is still waiting for you, and this time there are so many harvests, there are still many things to be counted. Alice reluctantly led people into the Jurassic forest. This time, they lost a lot of cranes and excavators, but fortunately, the mine cart is still there. Coupled with a few big guys, grandpas don't have to walk. Don't worry, after I go back. Go back. Just buy something more with gold. After all, the value of wealth lies in circulation. Really hard work this time. Quote, Yi Bai's words are sincere. If it wasn't for the miners' grandfathers to lift themselves up. Without the support of massive wealth, this wave is really going to capsize in the gutter. You go back, remember to keep a low profile. Don't dig for treasure in Jurassic Forest, those dinosaur hunters are not good. I'll take care of everything when I get back. Quote, Yi Bai knew why Alice was worried. Afraid that he will be fascinated by the colorful world of Langsing and forget them. Is Yi Bai such a person? No, he is a gentleman, those coquettish, he despises. After promising to return within half a day, Alice led the team and disappeared into the forest. Yi Bai rubbed his hands together, summoned fortune, prosperous wealth, and after licking their European aura, he put them back in the pet space again. After all, he didn't know what would happen when the door was opened. I still have to guard against one hand, pinch and open it. If something really happens, I can hide back to Blue Star. At this moment the setting sun shines on the earth. In the distant sky, a group of pterosaurs came back from hunting. The dusk shines in the ancient forest, and there is a sense of loss that the end of history. It may be time. The devil's big crack under his feet gradually began to disappear, becoming illusory, and gradually drifting away like a mirage. Yi Bai guessed that there might be the power of space around. World announcement. Please organize your equipment for 855 batches of gold diggers in this issue, and will officially return to Blue Star in 10 minutes. Gold diggers who have been promoted to official mine owners can send them back to their mines at any time in the future. Every time the loser crosses in the future, he must pay a certain amount of transportation fee, and each time it is more expensive than the last time. The total harvest of this batch of gold diggers is being settled, and the wealth of the top 100 in the current wealth list is being settled. The resounding sound of this voice completely drew the curtain on this legendary journey. In the chat room, everyone sighed and felt extraordinary. The 3 days of Go-Ri have finally passed, and I can't eat enough or wear warm clothes. I have to work hard, and I have to worry about monster attacks at night. I can finally go back with gold. I'm going to go shopping, buy a car and buy a house, the local owner. Just be lucky, our group of tens of millions. You see how many people died, and more than 1/3 remained completely. Just now, there was a monster attack that killed hundreds of thousands of gold diggers. Many are official mine owners, and even the wealth list has been refreshed several times. Everyone was very emotional, and they all said that the underground world is not something that people can live through. The wealth here is plentiful, but the materials are extreme. Many daily necessities are lacking. It may also be because they have not established their own bases, and they all plan to return to human society and enjoy it. Some are happy and some are sad. In addition to the mine owners, there are many more gold prospectors who have failed, just digging a little gold, silver, or other minerals. And their next crossing will cost a lot of money, and there are only 2 futures waiting for them. 1. Either bid farewell to the underground world in this life and be a screw in Blue Star. 2. Sell yourself to a consortium company, be a miner for others, and build other people's mines. The fate of a lifetime has been decided from the first expedition. Seeing the return countdown on the panel, Yi Bai no longer hesitated. Taking a deep breath, he gently pushed open the bronze door. The 2 evil ghosts inlaid on the door seemed to come alive and grinned at him. Warning again, are you pushing the gate of hell? Sure. With a long creaking sound, the bronze ghost door was slowly opened, and a dark world behind the door gradually revealed. At the same time, the surroundings seemed to shake violently like an earthquake. What's the matter? Are you planning to do this before returning? I'm dizzy. A big earthquake. How come this time? Don't shake my gold into the ground, it's my life. To Yi Bai's surprise, the earthquake was not just under his feet, but the entire underground world. Congratulations on successfully using the world item Hell's Gate to start the world story, the recovery of ancient ruins. Recovery of ancient ruins. The scope of influence includes the entire underground world. The gate of hell in the depths of the ground was pushed open. The ancient ruins that have been in dust for a long time are revived, and the evil ghost will return to the world. Before Yi Bai could figure out what it meant, a world announcement resounded in the hearts of everyone, not just this group of newcomers, but all the mine owners, miners and others in the underground world. Because they also felt the earthquake at this time and sensed the changes in the ground. Announcement to the whole world. Yi Bai, the gold mine owner, used world props to open the gate of hell. Unlock the world-class event, the recovery of ancient ruins. The ancient ruins, ruins of ancient cities, and fragments of hell plains in the depths of the underground world will reappear in the world. All miners and gold diggers will have a chance to discover fragments of ancient ruins. At the same time, the ghosts of hell wake up. There will be many more ruins, mysterious treasures, mysterious treasure chests, and ruin cards in the underground world. There are also various types of demons, evil spirits, ghosts, and evil spirit creatures. The difficulty increases, and the reward increases. Please treat all gold diggers seriously, fight against evil ghosts invading the ground, and dig up the wealth of relics. In the distance, with earthquakes around the world, deep underground, there are prehistoric ruins slowly rising. In some places, a grand canyon was cracked, and a ruined ancient city appeared. At the same time, evil spirits emerged from the cracks in the ground, roaring and invading the surface. Faced with sudden changes, many formal mine owners disappeared. Just keep Yi Bai's name in mind. Only the well-informed 855th gold diggers are boiling. Yi Shen is doing something again. Promoted a new version of the underground world. Niu Cha. What did he pull out of the Devil's Rift? World props, look at the history, and update the world events. At this moment, the figures of the gold diggers are gradually disappearing, and they can choose to go back. On the record of the history book, a new handwriting was updated. World Events, 2144, Issue 855 Gold Digger. Yi Bai, the owner of the gold mine, successfully opened the gate of hell and awakened the sleeping ancient ruins. The underground world has a new version. Restoration of ancient relics. There will be more relics, evil spirits, and treasures appearing underground. The scope of this record's impact is so broad, so that some people were lucky enough to see their own territory cracked open by an earthquake, and found clues of the ruins, and immediately ordered the miners to dig. Of course, there are also unlucky people who see evil spirits escaping from the ground. Some miners dig underground and even discover ghosts. Through experiments, I was surprised to find that it can absorb ghosts and strengthen souls. The whole underground world is lively. But all this has nothing to do with Yi Bai. Because he saw that the countdown was 0, he could go back. And the gate of hell that was opened is slowly dissipating, but not disappearing. It just ran into Yi Bai's system space, and he used it for other purposes. I'm back, and I'll be a rich man from now on. Yi Bai laughed and chose to go back. The golden mark on his palm flashed. The moment the figure disappeared, out of the corner of his eye, he also saw the Devil's Great Rift that had completely disappeared on the other side. The last moment, his identification technique gave the true name of this SSS level map. Entrance to the Abyss Unlimited map. By chance, a crack opened in the underground world. The deeper it went, the more terrifying it was. Contains endless wealth, endless demons. Point 0. Deeper are layers of hell planes, and no one will ever reach the deepest depths of the abyss, because it never ends. When you are staring at the abyss is staring at you. Yi Bai, whose body was being teleported, felt like being shaken by thunder. The Devil's Great Rift and Devil's Grand Canyon that I have been exploring, the truth turned out to be the abyss. I rub it, no wonder there are so many treasures and all kinds of mutant monsters. The truth is always in front of you. The 100th level boss 100-footed race is the Abyss Alien. Lava Balrog is the lord of the first hell plane. Yi Bai's eyebrows darkened when he thought of the gate of hell that he had just opened. Shouldn't all this be calculated? Just to let the demons out. It was too late to think about it, just at the last moment when he completely retreated. At the entrance of the abyss that was about to disappear completely, a piece of hell magma suddenly rose up. Between the boiling magma, 100 meters long, the claws of the whole body flowing with flames stretched out. As soon as he grasped Yi Bai's body, he exerted a little force, cracks in the space spread all over the space, and the teleportation was forcibly blocked. Warning, warning, unknown monsters are forcibly interrupting space-time teleportation. The other party is obliterating you. Please activate the teleportation mark quickly. The blood-red panel suddenly flashed in front of Yi Bai's eyes. The sudden change made his face change greatly. Yi Bai immediately stimulated all the energy and poured it into the triangular golden mark of the palm. This represents the connection between oneself and the underground world. Only the mighty power of the world can avoid this disaster and connect the two worlds. Kaka, seeing his proud body shattered like glass, Yi Bai had only one thought in his mind. Elementalization is not invincible. As long as the attack is strong enough and high enough, it can still be crushed. At this moment, he finally knew the meaning of that sentence, and the abyss was also staring at you. There are always monsters watching him in the valley. With the glow of the golden mark, his remnant body is being forcibly teleported back. At the same time, the entrance to the abyss could not support it, and the last trace of fantasy disappeared completely. When this giant lava hand was about to kill Yi Bai completely, a dragon scale shield flashed across his body. Yi Bai rose up a legendary giant dragon, and it roared against the giant hand. A shocking dragon roar resounded in the Jurassic. Congratulations on your successful return to Blue Star, Yan Kingdom, Jiangnan Province, Guangcheng No. 1 Middle School. Congratulations on maintaining the first position in the wealth list with a fortune of 460,000. And attracting a bet with Johnson, the Lighthouse Country. All assets and treasures of the other party are being transferred. The evaluation of this trial is being settled, mysterious rewards are being selected. Mystery gift has been delivered to your space, please pay attention to check. Dozens of tons of gold, phoenix bloodstone, and meteorite crystal worth 200,000 wealth points have been stored in your space. Yi Bai was a little dizzy with the series of news when he opened his eyes again. I saw the familiar Yijiang Square. The voices were loud, and many flashing lights snapped. Mr. Li, Principal Chen, and other people who did not know each other surrounded him. Surrounded by transmission halos, this group of 3,000 students. Only more than 1,000 people have returned, and many people are missing arms and legs. Yi Bai is back, the new king, the child of miracles. As someone shouted a word, the whole school was boiling. Yi Bai didn't care about his surroundings and just examined himself. It is still in the state of being in a state of transmission, and thanks to the elementalized body, it is still complete. Just with the movement of his mind, a dragon scale that was broken like a spider web appeared in his hand. 580, at the same time, he saw the message record. You are being sniped by an unknown existence, the legendary item inverse scale will take effect automatically. The introduction of the inverse scales in the hand has also changed. Inverse scale 2/3, the remaining number of uses is 2. After all, he lost his life. Yi Bai was dazzled by the surprise before. I didn't expect that at the last moment, the abyss of the true face was revealed to give myself this big surprise. He suspected that when he provoked the flame demon, he was already being targeted. That is, the method of killing the flame demon is too bizarre. Attack at the last minute. I don't know what kind of creature the opponent is, but the guarantee is an epic level abyss lord, and it is most likely a legendary level. In the future, I will hold the revenge of this arrow. Yi Bai gritted his teeth and retracted the inverse scales, thinking about it carefully. Could it be his plan to dig to the gate of hell this time? Terrified, Alexander seems to say that he bought it from a demon, and he doesn't know if he will have the opportunity to touch the abyss in the future. Of course now is not the time to think about it. There was a tsunami-like welcome ceremony inside and outside the playground, and his name was written on one after another. There was thunderous applause all around. Congratulations, the outstanding student of our school, the new king of this issue. Principal Chen stepped forward to shake hands first, followed by a burst of courtesy. Look, it's Lao Yi. Dare to call him a brother in the future. He is a newcomer king. Did you see the last record? He was the one who completed the epic event. Maybe 100 years from now, we will be written in the history books because of him. There were voices of discussion from the same group of gold diggers around. Yi Bai just came back from the underground, and is still a little uncomfortable with such a noisy environment. I didn't even bother to greet the principal and others. He waved his hand, if there is an interview or something, go back and talk about it. Now I just want to go to the hotel to wash up and have a good meal. Quote. Student Yi, I am the Deputy General Manager of Penguin Group. We sincerely invite you to come to our hotel. I'm selling newspaper news, can you take time out of your busy schedule to answer how we killed epic monsters? In a commotion, a beautiful young lady stepped forward to shake hands with Yi Bai. Hello, classmate Yi, I'm Lu Lingsu, the docking specialist. Just call me Miss Lu. On behalf of the official, is it convenient for you to go to the governor's palace with me now? Governor Zhang is very interested in your achievements, and Xintong made a special call to inquire. There's nothing to say next. Yi Bai doesn't like the consortium. But the official face still has to be given. He didn't like noise either, and quickly left with Miss Lu amid a welcome sound. Along the way, Yi Bai was deeply touched by the excitement of the students and the warm condolences from the head teacher and the principal. When you are strong, the whole world will be kind to you. Inside the special car, Miss Lu on the side said with a smile. You don't know, now you are the hottest person in the country and even in the world. Many media want to interview you about your deeds, and many groups leave heavy words and want to draw you in at all costs. Oh, within the past 3 days, has the media reported me? Yi Bai is slightly curious. When Miss Liu told about the changes in these 3 days, it made Yi Bai feel that things are right and wrong. 3 days ago, I was worthless, and today I am unknown. However, you will definitely not join any group, but set up your own underground company. I seem to have seen the emergence of a new super group. We are very interested in all kinds of your products. To support you, the country will buy unlimited purchases at market prices. And if you have financial needs, we're here to help. Because of the complexity of mining, the mining farm cannot be run by one person. Many mine owners will set up companies, recruit people to go public, collect funds, carve out the shares to give the super consortium, and let them help build the mine. In the process, it is inevitable that most of the profits will be lost. There are even many mine owners who lost control because of this, were occupied by doves, and even picked peaches. This is a common occurrence. If you are an ordinary person, naturally there is only one way to go. But Yi Bai has gold miners, no need for any company assistance, one person can top 100. Yi Bai listened and shook his head with a smile. I am simple-minded, and I think I can't handle those professional old foxes. I'm not interested in going public either. This time, I'm just planning to set up a simple company. It is convenient to trade between the two worlds. Some products in my hands are not worried about sales. Of course, it is best to have the support of the state. After all, I need a lot of supplies. Hearing this, Miss Liu chuckled twice. I feel that young people are very popular, and I don't want others to meddle in my mine. And on their way to the governor's palace, because of the return of the gold diggers, the information about Yi Bai was also revealed one by one. Among them, the news about the S-level cards, Shoshu, Fushu, Golden Dragon Tooth Rice, and even the SSS-level dungeons is shocking. The high-level officials of many countries have even issued orders to snipe this star of the Yan Kingdom. Can't let the super rookie king fall into his hands again. He has a lucky cat, a new auspicious beast in his hand. Is this the reason for his success? Then do whatever it takes to see if you can buy it. When the information about Yi Bai was gradually revealed, the heads of many consortiums jumped. In just 3 days, the wealth accumulation of this newcomer is comparable to their 100 years. Many people moved their minds, trying to get Yi Bai's company to go public. Use their commercial means to gradually control the gold mine and take the treasure into your own hands. Yi Bai doesn't know this, but he can guess. He would not intrigue with those old foxes at all, but smashed the chessboard directly instead of playing. Soon, in the governor's palace, Yi Bai met this Governor Zhang, who was often seen on TV. The other party's introverted aura made Yi Bai's experience horrified. Intuitively tell myself that this is the top master of the Holy Order. Finally met our hero. Your victory this time is a big fight for our country. How about, are you sure about the competition for the Super Rookie King? Governor Zhang had a casual personality and greeted Yi Bai to sit down. Others who do not want to be shut down quickly leave. Yi Bai had a friendly exchange with the governor. Just now, Governor Zhang knew some of Yi Bai's feats in the underground world. Even if you already know that it is extremely extraordinary, but seeing the information leaked by other people, whether it is a longevity tree, a dragon tooth rice, or even an underground city, even oil mines and small spiritual stone mines, none of these strategic resources can be controlled by a newbie. I thought it was the state that supported the development of your mines and bought your gold and specialty products. Now it seems that we are still taking advantage. Whether it is Shodao, Fuka, or even Longya rice, they are all strategic materials and cannot be leaked. Governor Zhang gave Yi Bai a reassurance. Of course, we will also give you conditions that you cannot refuse, and we will do our best to provide the materials needed for the development of the mine. Secret machines that you can't find in the market, the latest technology, are available here. Yi Bai's brows loosened. If this is the case, it will save me a lot of effort. My focus is on the underworld, and the sale of gold is best left to the state. Quote. However, Yi Bai also asked his doubts at this time. The underground world is constantly producing gold and other ores. Why hasn't the price of gold fallen yet? Or keep the price of 400 stars per gram. Hearing this, Governor Zhang laughed heartily. It seems that you have been promoted too fast, and many deep things have not been touched. It just so happens that the country will also reward you for winning the new king. You and I go to the treasure house. Pick a prize you like. Quote, quote. After speaking, Governor Zhang got up and took Yi Bai by car to another mysterious place. And then Yi Bai finally knew that the price of gold remained high. Governor Zhang took him to the Underground Research Institute. There, bricks of gold make houses of gold. Mysterious ghosts are imprisoned in thick coffins made of gold. Even some ghosts, evil spirits and other soul-type monsters are trapped by gold. Governor Zhang explained on the side. Since the supernatural appeared in the world, it is natural that all kinds of soul monsters have troubled people the most. You know, no matter how strong the physical monster is, we can still use machine guns and even nuclear bombs to solve it. But in the face of unresolved grievances and ghosts, what should we do? Hee, someone soon discovered that gold has a special attack on ghosts. By the way, silver and bronze are also effective, which can also cause damage and trap ghosts. Its effect is 100 times worse than gold. Finally, he added, gold is a strategic resource for every country at any time, never too much. You seem to have started the world plot before, the ancient times have recovered, and many evil spirits have appeared. I am afraid that the market price of gold will rise again. Quote, I'm showing you another major use of gold, which is also the cornerstone of the country's most important weapon. Governor Zhang dismissed the staff and took him to a more secret research room underground. With Governor Zhang's explanation, many of Yi Bai's little questions were finally answered. But what happened next was beyond his expectations. Yi Bai is currently in a very secret research institute that is thousands of meters deep underground. Even if he is led by Governor Zhang, he has to pass several checkpoints. And finally, seeing deep in a missile-like crater. Dozens of meters high, hundreds of meters high, even hundreds of meters high, the whole body is golden, showing the big guy of human body structure. Yi Bai could hardly hide his surprise and blurted out. Mecha, it turns out that the country also studies this stuff. Is the romance of a man really a mecha? Facing Yi Bai's doubts, Governor Zhang gave the answer. There are many monsters in the underground world with huge bodies, especially the higher the realm, the bigger the body. And the mecha made of gold as raw material can not only carry all kinds of energy. Through the transformation of the magic core, it merges with the driver's mind. It can also play a similar role. A gold-level evolutionary driver drives an A-level 100-meter mecha, then he can fight against platinum-level monsters. These are the weapons of the country. Only through a simple understanding did Yi Bai know some cutting-edge technologies that the country has already researched very deeply. The golden mecha is not just controlled by people lying in it. It can also be integrated like an armor, and play a cross-class battle. Governor Zhang took out a small piece of gold. I saw that with his slight squeeze, the gold instantly turned into fly ash in the palm of his hand. A wisp of gold powder was absorbed by his body. At the same time, behind Governor Zhang there is a looming, tall and mighty golden dharma like his appearance. After evolving to the gold level, we will gradually condense our own dharma, which Westerners like to call the holy womb. Its appearance will greatly strengthen our combat effectiveness. After it has evolved to the advanced realm, it can gradually be integrated with the dharma. And every step here requires massive amounts of gold. As far as I know, some of the top powerhouses in small countries. They have enough strength to advance to a higher realm, but because the country lacks enough gold support, they cannot advance. Yi Bai did not expect that gold is also related to evolution. No wonder the price has remained high for so long, and the more senior people need it more. Speaking of this, Governor Zhang quipped. How do you think the original mechas came from? Their source is the imitation of the Dharma. Haha, it seems that my previous thoughts were too simple. Yi Bai laughed suddenly, many mysteries were solved. The two chatted while walking and walked towards the agreed treasure house. Along the way, Governor Zhang said with a hint of anxiety. Actually, don't look at it, the current human society is full of flowers. The massive ores and material resources mined from the underground are continuously transported back. The lifespan of all human beings, the degree of evolution is increasing year by year. But you didn't see the threat lurking in the dark. The time left for us humans is running out. Yi Bai asked in confusion, is it the rumored underground world counterattack? But the indigenous forces underground, it is not impossible to contact. Moreover, the degree of openness of wisdom is not as good as ours, and many of them are powerful by virtue of their extraordinary power. The development of civilization is very primitive and deformed. Is it generally suppressed by us? He has also seen the news, and occasionally there are some underground coordinates, there are powerful monsters attacking, and the humanoid group passes through the space passage and kills human beings. But overall it is still dominated by human victory. Newspapers and the internet are all reporting with the attitude of human beings all the way to victory. Governor Zhang shook his head. It's not that simple, no one is a fool. Some underground civilizations absorb our strengths extremely quickly after contacting us. The current strength is growing rapidly. And we humans occupy too much territory. All kinds of monsters, alien civilizations, aboriginal powerhouses, ghosts and ghosts, etc., once fully erupted, Blue Star will surely bleed into a river. Your world event this time, in a sense, is already an early warning. According to our research, there is a spirit in the underground world, and its world will itself has a simple response. Governor Zhang expressed his greatest worries. Since the two worlds were connected, we humans have so far not had a single god. And in the underground world, legends of gods are always circulating. Artifacts are not extinct. Artifact. Hearing this word, Yi Bai frowned. Really? He couldn't help but ask. Then do we humans have it? After 100 years, there must be some gains, right? Governor Zhang said with a smile. Of course, each piece is a treasure of the country, and its status is similar to the nuclear bomb of the old days. Artifacts are still mainly controlled by the five powers. I heard that you have an SSS-class world card in your hand, which is quite good. If you can get the corresponding suits together, you should also have the power of the artifact. That's still far away. Yi Bai laughed, thinking that he was a small achievement. With hundreds of billions of assets and various precious cards. After the governor's explanation, this is far from enough. After 100 years of exploration, the country has also accumulated massive wealth. Of course, I'm telling you this, just to remind you. Don't be complacent about a momentary achievement. You must know that the underground world is endless, and we humans do not even have a billionth of its exploration. Xingtong specifically called me and asked me to give you some pointers. Quote, forget it, let's not talk about these disappointing things. The treasure house of Jiangnan province has arrived. Because of your outstanding contribution, you can go and choose a treasure inside. The worst of them are the A-rank cards. What kind of baby can be picked, depends on your eyesight. Quote, during the conversation, the two of them unknowingly went to another place, a tight place with guns and live ammunition covered with thick gold. Before walking in, Yi Bai sees a sea of jewels. I didn't expect the new king to have such benefits. Yi Bai is confident in his eyesight. When you win the Super Rookie King a month later, you can also go to the treasure house of the national headquarters to select treasures. There is the wealth that our Yan kingdom has accumulated for hundreds of years, and you can ask for it. Governor Zhang also continued to tempt him. But whether it is for oneself or for the country, Yi Bai will definitely take the title of Super Rookie King. That is the bell of luck, and it will have a crucial impact on the development of his own mind. The contents of the treasure house did not disappoint Yi Bai. The A+ grade card, Blue Knight, the S grade card, Gold Rush, the Diamond grade famous Knife Star Meteorite, and even the Holy grade Pet Egg, Gold grade Mecha, etc. are all available. Many things are dreamed of by others. But for Yi Bai, his own mine is complete, and after he has a dungeon, he has many treasures. What he needs more is help. Among them, there are 3 treasures that are very appealing to Yi Bai. One is an extremely special rope, and the other is a wooden boat that can grow larger and smaller, with a maximum carrying capacity of 100 people. The other one is a golden secret book. Rope of infinite extension. A mysterious rope with unknown material and unknown manufacturing method. The biggest advantage is that it can be extended infinitely when thrown out, and can be automatically retracted with the movement of the owner's mind. If used in the right place, there may be unexpected joy. But the biggest disadvantage is that it is not very strong and is easily cut off by sharp tools. Escape boat, from the work of a certain volcano dwarves, it can carry 100 people to sit on it. The function is to walk through ordinary land, and the deepest point is 10 meters. The biggest disadvantage is that encountering special mines such as copper mines and gold mines, or special soils are easy to hit the rocks and damage. The last cheat book is all golden, with 4 big characters written on it. Zongliu Golden Body, the secret book of supernatural powers, Buddha will not cross poverty. By consuming a large amount of precious metals such as silver and gold, practice the golden body in advance. And the strength is far better than the powerhouse of the same level. Theoretically speaking, if a cultivator has enough money, the golden body he cultivates can be infinitely compressed and powerful. The golden body can also be integrated into the body, so that you have the power of the fleshly body. Choosing this magical rope, mainly considering its own perspective function. In the future, if you find any treasure in the depths of the ground, and throw a rope over it, you don't have to worry about not being long enough. As for this escaping boat, it was naturally because of its escaping function and its importance in the underground world. However, the disadvantages are also obvious. The activity area is limited. Encountering special minerals, or even planting special plants by others, laying mine traps, etc., will be discovered and even damage the boat. If it is really so useful, it will not stay in the treasure house and eat ashes. It was already pulled out and yoked. Moreover, Yi Bai seriously doubted that the dwarves had more advanced escaping boats, and this one was just the basic 580 model. I'll choose this secret book. Yi Bai pointed to the golden body of Zongliu. Governor Zhang was a little surprised. Don't think about it, to be honest, this cheat book is a bit tasteless. When it was first discovered, many countries attached great importance to it. Later research found that the consumption of money strengthens the individual. If it is converted into other cultivation materials, the efficiency is far greater than this. Yi Bai has nothing else but a lot of money. He was unfortunately consumed by the Balrog before, so Johnson compensated himself with another 200,000 points and made up for it. Moreover, Yi Bai mainly considers that the Zongliu golden body can be integrated with the Giant of Light, and it will be stronger and stronger. After transforming this time, he was entangled with the flame demon. Yi Bai was surprised to find that under the tenfold combat power of the Giant of Light. Although the speed is extremely fast, the defense and quality seem to be a bit of a concern. To put it simply, it is too light and easy to break, and has no texture. So the French camera armor gave him inspiration, and he planned to paint his light giant with gold paint to make it shiny. In this way, after a punch, like a golden meteorite falling, it is estimated that the quality will double. With a strange expression, Governor Zhang took down the secret book and gave it to Yi Bai. Cultivation well in the future, just contact Xiaolu if you need any supplies. If you encounter a crisis that cannot be resisted, or if there is a consortium specifically targeting you, call my private number. Governor Zhang was instructed by Xingtong and seemed to intend to cultivate himself. Yi Bai felt warm in his heart. Even if gold, spirit stones and other treasures were cheaper, they had to be supplied to the government. He knows too much about private consortiums and companies. So dark. Today Yi Bai is also tired, and has undergone successive fusions. After finally returning to the safe Blue Star, I just want to have a good sleep. After staying in a 5-star hotel arranged by Miss Liu, Yi Bai washed himself at will, and after having a full meal, he fell asleep on the bed happily. And although others are asleep, the deeds are still circulating in the outside world. With the passage of time, Yi Bai's feats and amazing harvests in 3 days were revealed one by one. Not only the high-level officials of other countries were shocked, but ordinary people were also excited. The evening news reported that with the return of the 855 gold diggers, they brought a huge amount of gold and wealth. Some brick houses believe that the market is turbulent, and the price of gold may fall. In this issue, the rookie king Yi Bai has 2 auspicious beasts and SSS-level card components, among which the longevity tree is very interesting to many old people. But the most fascinating thing is how he killed the epic monster and can it be reproduced. Does this mean that there is another national-level epic battle force in the Yan Kingdom? Another brick house predicts the arrival of the world plot, the recovery of the underground ruins. More treasures, more hell monsters, the roll of gold will be raised again, and the market price may be raised. There is a consortium eyeing the Yibai mine, and it is predicted that he will set up his own mining company, going public to raise funds and resources. Many big miners are very interested in the prospect of gold mines. There may be some volatility in the stock market, and retail investors should be cautious. Quote, "Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night, whether it is an interview with the new king, a summary, or the arrival of a new version." Among them, the few treasures in Yibai's hands made some bigwigs heartbroken. If it weren't for his amazing record before his return, coupled with the country's key protection, the governor's statement, many people have already planned to coerce and lure, and use various means to rob. The most worrying is naturally the foreign media, who directly asserted, "The super rookie king after January has been locked, and this year's rookie of the year will be Yi." I seem to have seen an epic creature of the Yan kingdom rising. Among them, the Logan group was the one who reacted the most. They strongly condemned Yibai's unfair competition, and think that he has taken away the vast wealth and precious treasures of his heirs. The Lighthouse Kingdom took the opportunity to exert pressure on the Yan Kingdom in an attempt to make Yibai compensate Shoshu. In this regard, Yan Guo said, "Ha ha." Yibai, who was sleeping, was naturally unaware of the heated discussions in the outside world. The next day at midday, Yibai woke up. Opening his eyes, he saw an unfamiliar ceiling in a daze, and he was still muttering, "Alice, bring me a bowl of hot soup." Meow. No one responded, just a cute white cat's head emerged from the velvet bed. It is Fortune. Under the bed, there was also a cheerful cry. Wong Kai didn't know when he ran out, and his body became a lot bigger. It is the size of an ordinary local dog, wagging its tail and jumping up and down happily. Yibai just realized that he is still in Blue Star now. Looking at the golden mark in his palm, Yibai missed everyone in the gold mine for a while. "For me, that's my own territory, and it's even less free here. Finish things early today and do some shopping. Go back to see Alice. If they stay too long, they are also anxious. I don't know if there are any ruins next to us." Quote. But as soon as he got up, Yibai received the good news that popped up on the panel. Reminder. Affected by the innate skills of attracting wealth and prosperity, your total wealth is 620,000. The total wealth has increased by 3%, and the total wealth is now 638,000. Don't look at only 9%, which is equivalent to millions of stars. Yibai, who was delighted with the news, teased while holding two pets. "I'll give you two a snack today. Didi, you have a private message." In reality, you can still privately message yourself. Yibai only thinks of one person. When I answered the phone, it turned out to be Mu Wei. "Hee hee, big hero, it's time to answer the phone. How, after coming back, are you flattered? Many consortiums and media contact you. Don't be deceived by them, they are very dark." There was a playful voice on the other end of the phone. "Don't worry, I know what to do. Not playing on their familiar chessboard and not going public. After processing the funds today and setting up a shell company, I'm going back with the supplies. The mine is still busy, and there are some safety hazards around. Your capital is not a small sum, that Johnson lost all his fortune to you. I heard it's being locked up right now. Do you need me to help with your gold and special products? My dad is a director of the D Group, or has a little power. Moreover, the longevity peaches, fuka, etc. you will plant in the future are all strategic materials, so you don't have to worry about selling them." Quote. Hearing this, Yibai was slightly surprised. Mu Lingwei turned out to be a member of the D Group, which was one of the few giants in the country with an official background. The hidden energy is much stronger than the penguin and the chief spear. The governor of Jiangnan province took good care of me and sent commissioners to handle these matters for me. If you want, I will give you 10 tons of gold. After some friendly exchanges, Yibai also made a way for himself. Mu Lingwei can handle it. After some busy work, Yibai walked out of the hotel with his two pets and contacted a commissioner, Miss Dao, to handle company matters. It's really simple to say hello, and the cumbersome procedures can be completed without even half an hour. Yi Minor, do you really not consider the issue of listing in the future? In this way, the initial funds are good, but many human resources, map resources, etc. are big problems. Miss Dao asked. According to what she said, when the mine is listed, the profits are distributed to others, and the capital is second, and it can develop and raise funds faster. Sometimes you can also get precious information, such as some special coordinates with surprises, desert copy, tree sea copy. If you produce special products, you can take miners to dig and get a piece of the pie. No, I'm used to being alone. Moreover, the mine also employs some indigenous monsters, who are powerful and do not need to pay wages. Yi Bai was agile and soon set up a gold mining. With a registered capital of 10 billion, he is the only one at present. Sharp-eyed people quickly discovered this new company. But what makes many predators grit their teeth is that the other party has no plans to go public and raise funds. I'll see how long you can last. Do you really think that the vast mines can be solved by you alone? The cultivation of territory, the survey of mines, the operation and maintenance of machinery. Even combatants, these are people. Young people should not be too arrogant. Be on guard now, there will always be time to ask us in the future. Next is Yi Bai's favorite, and it's also the time when I've been dreaming about it for a long time. I want to buy something. Haha, yes, the governor has told me that as long as it is what you want, it can be sold at a low price. You have to believe in the industrial capacity of the country, and the department stores have everything here. With Miss Dao leading, Yi Bai went directly to the national warehouse to stock up. The first is a liaison device that can connect the two worlds and has a continuous distance. Yi Bai bought thousands of them. Basically, even kobolds and moles can have one per person. Then there are work clothes, etc. At present, the technology is advanced, as long as you pay the money. What special equipment is available? Any special clothes to prevent heavy objects from collapsing, self-cleaning, etc. Considering that there are still girls such as Alice, Maya, Zawan in the mine. With a big wave of Yi Bai's hands, he spent millions, with less than 100 caddies of gold, to buy thousands of special clothes. For the gold miners, Yi Bai is very willing to spend money. Grandpa is the cornerstone of everything. In the future, a piece of clothing can be thrown away once you wear it. Coupled with basic equipment, such as miner's lamp, automatic pickaxe, etc., these are expensive because of the magic modification. Miss Dao explained. You should also know the reason for the underground magnetic field. Many machines are like scrap metal underground. It can only cost a lot of money, based on gold, silver and other materials, with the magic core as the engine. Only use spiritual stones as fuel to drive. These magic excavators, bulldozers, and mountain breakers are the real industrial heavy equipment, and each of the cheapest ones costs 10 million. Under Yi Bai's personal control, these magic modified machines are inferior to Alexander's modification. But the problem is that there is a lot of volume, continuous production, and after-sales service. If there is a problem with the machine, the parts are packaged. For the future development of the mine, it is impossible to rely only on a few masters. Outsourced employees, kobolds, and even dungeon warriors are the cornerstones. Coupled with the excavation of the abyss not long ago, many basic machines were dropped, and it was difficult for a clever woman to cook without rice. Which excavation machine is stronger? Yan Guoshan finds Lanxiang in winter. Yi Bai asked Miss Dao to lead the way and went directly to the Lanxiang production headquarters in Jiangnan province. No nonsense, he raised his hand and threw a hill of gold from the space. Bring me 100 large power magic modified excavators, 100 large power magic modified bulldozers, 100 engineering vehicles, 100 mining trucks, 100 tower cranes, and 100 concrete mixer trucks. A series of quotations frightened the managers present. This is a big machine with tens of billions of dollars, and they can't make up their minds. The president of Jiangnan province of Lanxiang Group wiped his sweat and rushed over. Originally, these large-scale purchases were subject to state control. Lanxiang also has an official capital injection, but now that the governor has given the green light, it is naturally smooth all the way. The President Li also kindly said that Lanxiang is willing to reach a strategic cooperation with the gold mine. If you have the opportunity, be sure to let them invest to help. Of course, in return, some of Yi Bai's specialties, such as Shoudao, Li Nuojiao, Shoudao, or Shoudao, can be sold to them first. These are all asked by the major shareholders and directors in person. Seeing the 20% discount offered by Lanxiang, Yi Bai replied with a smile. Good to say, Good to say, definitely next time. Is this not life tree planted yet? When it bears fruit, it will be sold. Although I know that everyone attaches great importance to the treasures of longevity and longevity. But Yi Bai found that he still underestimated everyone. There are definitely a lot of treasures in his hands, among them, the Luolan underground city and the dragon tooth rice are even more valuable than the longevity tree. But the one who asks him the most is Shou Dao. Including Governor Zhang also expressed his desire to taste the taste of longevity peach. Yi Bai has agreed. After waiting for the results, give him a few to taste. Seeing that Yi Bai turned into a shopping madman, he went to sweep department stores, national warehouses, and production workshops of major groups. Miss Dao couldn't help but persuade Yang. Master Yi, don't you have a lot of manpower? If you buy so many machines, will you eat ashes? Do you want to go step by step? If you want to be rich, build roads first. I'd rather have the machine left unattended to eat ashes in the corner, rather than my employees being idle without the machine. Miss Dao, I want to purchase 100 tons of cement. By the way, I heard before that there is a kind of heavy weapon of the country, the magic nuclear shield machine. You can also bring me a few. I have a lot of mountains and need it. Yi Bai stared at Miss Dao with bright eyes. The construction of the mine depends on this magic nuclear shield machine. Are you developing too fast? Miss Dao questioned in a while. This kind of heavy weapon, even Lanshang does not have it. Instead, the state regulates thousands of enterprises and jointly builds. Each one is recorded. As long as the energy is enough, start it up and break the sea, the power is infinite. But its price and technical content are also ridiculously high. To tell you the truth, there is a mountain range in my place that isolates the east. If the mine is to develop, it must be opened up. Yi Bai has been jealous of the shield machine for a long time, and its appearance will surely liberate a lot of productivity. I'll ask the others. Even with the green light from the governor, Miss Dao had a lot of communication. Only reluctantly raised the price and won the sale of an entry-level shield machine. Even entry-level, it needs 10 billion sky-high prices. Yi Bai thought about it and decided to buy one. After the purchase of these great items, Yi Bai's wealth unexpectedly cost hundreds of billions of stars, and dozens of tons of gold were spent. If it wasn't for Johnson's help, I'd probably have to pay for it now. In addition to these, many daily necessities, including food, seasonings, pots and pans, etc. Yi Bai also started a big purchase. These things are very cumbersome. Yi Bai took Miss Dao directly to the largest department store, and said boldly. All inclusive. One of the most expensive is to buy meat, staple food. The quantity turned out to be hundreds of tons to buy. Even Miss Dao was stunned. Master Yi, why are you buying so much grain? I remember that your mines are fertile, and the fruits and food you grow are of high quality. There is even an S-class staple food, a treasure that the country wants to acquire. Quote. Yi Bai sighed. The family has a big business, and they have taken in a group of kobolds and some moles. As long as they have food, they will give birth in 1 litter, and they will become adults in 2 days. Although did not want wages, but they had to cover room and board. The landlord's house has no food left. Of course, the core personnel like myself eat and drink the things grown in the 10 acres of Tai Chi soil, and even if they are bad, they can still sell them. Many things are very popular in Blue Star. Recruited outsourcers, ordinary meat, can fill their stomachs, they will be grateful. In nature, but there is no meal to be hungry. And after returning this time, Yi Bai plans to develop towards Jurassic Park. There are so many dinosaurs, and he wants to take a few of them, all of which need food to support. Under this big acquisition, half of the city's materials were swept away. Many people who received the news sneered. Nouveau riche or nouveau riche, they don't even know how to save their money. After a busy morning, by the way, after helping himself to buy a luxury villa in Dachang, the capital of Jiangnan province, Yi Bai finally prepared. The exhausted Miss Dao asked out of breath. How do you plan to bring back so many supplies? There are many things that cannot be brought in the space of the mine. Want me to arrange for a group of transport workers to deliver it? No, I have my own way, just let them transport them to the warehouse. Yi Bai was sitting in his newly bought villa and lost a few Wellington steaks to Lucky and Prosperity. Leakage of underground coordinates is a big no-no. Yi Bai would rather make more trips by himself than let outsiders find out. Since this is the case, then I will arrange the delivery of materials. If you have any questions in the future, you can contact me by private message at any time. Miss Dao left with due diligence, and she still has a lot of work to do next. Yi Bai checked the surroundings of the villa to ensure safety. After greeting the lucky and prosperous wealth and returning to the pet space, his mind moved. Return to the underworld. With the flickering of the golden imprint, the next moment others disappeared in the villa. Underworld, beyond Jurassic Forest. A beam of teleportation light flashed. Yi Bai carefully looked around. Back to the familiar world, this is his world. The entrance to the abyss has long since disappeared. However, there is still a large crack that is as long as a kilometer, and a blood-red stone can be seen sporadically. Yi Bai checked it, and it turned out to be a special ore. Hell Blood Stone, the stone that has been infected and mutated by the breath of the abyss, contains magical energy. After use, it can slightly strengthen the mind and body, but there are side effects. Quote, there is a chance to let the kobolds collect them, and strengthen themselves by the way. Yi Bai came back in such a hurry, of course, to count the harvest not long ago. In addition to the massive treasures from the abyss, the underground world also gives you a super reward. However, when opening the panel, Yi Bai found a little change. The original newcomer chat room has disappeared, replaced by a nationwide super chat room, and even a global international chat room. Specifically, it can also be divided into small chat rooms between areas, and information is rolling in the chat rooms. Many were still discussing Yi Bai, as well as new relics, and even evil spirits. And when Yi Bai opened the wealth list, his heart skipped a beat. National Mine Ranking. This is the competition of the country's mines based on the sum of all mine owners in each country. The first is the Lighthouse Kingdom, the second is the Yan Kingdom. The third is the Rus State, which is not much different from the Yan State. There is a clear gap between the latter Gaul and the Kingdom of Never Set Sun in the first three. In addition, there is also a ranking of the world's top 500 mining farms. Number 1. Wall Mine, Lighthouse Country. Number 2. Shenlong Mine, State-owned enterprise in Yangguo. Number 3. D Mine, Yangguo State-owned enterprise. Number 4. Apple Mine, Lighthouse Country. No. 5. Logan Mine, Lighthouse Country. They are all familiar giants. The above assessment is comprehensive, among which the top 500 mines. It seems to be a small country, and there are more than 100,000 employees in the last time. The top 10 super mines are operated by millions of people, and there are millions of soldiers alone. Compared with these giant crocodiles, Yi Bai's gold mine is still in its infancy. Don't be afraid, catch up slowly. The main thing is to be steady, CJBF. Yi Bai had spent nearly 200,000 wealth points in Blue Star before, and almost lost Johnson to himself, all of which were used up. Only the principal of 450,000 was left, and the first batch of goods brought by the space ring was already full. Not bothering to organize his backpack, Yi Bai hurriedly turned into a ray of light. Go through the Jurassic, buy yin, and run to the gold mine. I haven't seen you for a day, I miss my home. Fortunately, on the small river basin, the purple piranha swayed comfortably, and occasionally opened his mouth to eat the fish that jumped out of the river. Grandpa Hulu is taking care of vegetables and longya rice, and Zawan is busy in the kitchen. Princess Maya was in the corner, and was in touch with a big fat rat. It turned out to be a dragon rat. Grandpa Jack leads people to dig gold in the Dragon Mountains. Alice leads the overall situation. He is bringing more than 100 kobolds to help the grandfathers and do coolies. I haven't seen each other for a day, and there are 10 more kobolds. Seeing that everything was going smoothly, Yi Bai breathed a sigh of relief. Brother is back. Alice, as a primary golden creature, discovered his return at the first time, and her eyes lit up. He opened his dragon wings and hurried to welcome him. It's the mine owner. It seems that he brought us a lot of good things this time. Hey, I don't know if I have bought a few machines. The last time a few babies fell into the canyon, leaving only some ordinary equipment, the efficiency is too low. The gold mine suddenly boiled. Yi Bai's return gave the mine the backbone, and it suddenly became lively. Haha, you've worked hard. Now let go of any work at hand. Alice, I set up a shell company at Blue Star. I officially order you to be the general manager of the gold mine and help Grandpa Jack manage the staff. Take the lead in my absence. What about me? Could it be too young? Sister Maya seems to have experience managing multiple people. Quote. Alice pointed to herself in surprise. After listening to Maya, she waved her hands again and again. The most tiring thing is dealing with people. I like to communicate with animals and monsters. And recently, in addition to the moles, I'm looking for outsourcers. Brother, do we still have food? After the group of kobolds came, they ate a lot of the grain reserves in the warehouse. Higher monsters also need food as hard currency. Yi Bai still attached great importance to Maya. He ordered. From now on, Maya, you will be the boss who specializes in managing non-human employees. Zawan and Grandpa Hulu are the captains of the logistics department. Now everyone first choose an open place and build a large warehouse. I will slowly transfer the massive resources. In the future, everyone will no longer have to worry about food and water, just focus on making money and developing the territory. Everyone is excited to mention this. So carrying tools one by one, they encircled a special storage space in the west of the mine. Yi Bai just put the first batch of food and clothes in the warehouse, which made everyone pale. The food quality of Blue Star is not as good as that of the underground, but it is better than the quantity. With the increase in seasoning, it tastes good. And those yellow work clothes of the same color, with their own waterproof, fireproof and dirt-proof, make the miners' grandpas overjoyed. Those liaison devices are even more than one person, who can contact at any time, no longer have to worry about who has an accident. Sister Alice, come and take a look, this platinum and gold dress looks good. The three girls are even more delighted with the beautiful clothes. I always feel that the hard work underground for so long has finally paid off. Haha, these are just a drop in the bucket. I don't know how many trips to make today. And those heavy machines, that's the big problem. Yi Bai had a headache when he thought that there were so many supplies. Thousands of industrial machines, and a shield machine. Some of them are small burning oil, large consuming spirit stones, magic cores. He feels that the previous energy reserves may not be enough. Seeing that everyone was in joy, busy studying the newly arrived food and daily necessities, Yi Bai hurriedly explained to Leopardhead and Grandpa Diamond. I'm going to ship a few machines over later, and they eat a lot of oil. Leopardhead drives a mine cart and carries oil drums. Grandpa Diamond rode a pangolin in 100 feet, and went to the oil field together to extract crude oil. The more the better. Okay, everyone is busy. Today's mines are destined to be busy for a long time. Yi Bai had a headache with the transportation problem. No way, went to the store. I want to ask Alexander if there is still room for equipment to sell. After 2 days, Yi Bai entered the store again. The store seems to have expanded a lot, and even the counter has a lot more products. Alexander was still standing behind the counter, looking kindly. Yi Bai just came in. Get the first move. Boss, you killed me last time. What else to say about the SSS level Devil's Great Rift? It turned out to be the entrance to the infinite abyss. I didn't even know that I was pulling my teeth, and in the end, even the Balrog ran out. If it weren't for a little adventure, I would have almost planted somewhere. No, it has been loaded once. Quote. According to Yi Bai's guess after the incident, the super boss who finally shot should have been eyeing him very early. I guess it was because he was too ruthless. Alexander looked stunned. Then I really don't know the danger there, but looking at the boss, you will gain a lot. Forget it, it's over. There is a chance to go to the abyss. Do you have any space equipment here? Too much stuff, bad luck. Quote. Yi Bai also complained to him. Alexander was even more confused. Mine owner, you have the top space equipment yourself, why do you still buy it from me? Yi Bai was stunned. What? There are too many babies, and you have forgotten them. Didn't you salvage a treasure from the canyon, and the functions that come with that thing can solve your big problems? After being reminded by Alexander, Yi Bai realized that it was the gate of hell. After this thing revived the ruins, it did not disappear. Instead, he stayed with Yi Bai. He quickly bid farewell to Alexander and carefully studied the gates of hell. Gate of Hell World Props, a new plot has been opened. The current leader, Yi Bai. Through this gate, you can cross to different planes. At present, the coordinates of the Abyss Plane, Blue Star, and Underground World Gold Mine have been bound. Yi Bai was amazed. The function is the same as any door, which solves a big problem. And if you get any magical coordinates in the future, you can send it to the treasure land to explore. With the Gate of Hell, the communication between the two worlds is much more convenient. It can become larger or smaller at will through Yi Bai's energy input. However, when teleporting, you need to consume spirit stones. After Yi Bai unloaded the first batch of goods, let Alice and the others sort them out. He ran back to Blue Star non-stop. Miss Dao, how many things have you pulled from the warehouse? Hundreds of machines from Lanshang have been transferred. The general merchandise and food have also arrived. It is the magic nuclear shield machine, and there are several other large items on the way. Will definitely ship today. Do you need help? The efficiency of the commissioner is still very high, Yi Bai replied with satisfaction. No, let the transport personnel leave the warehouse after they arrive, and I will carry it myself. Okay. What followed was a boring and cumbersome transportation. Yi Bai felt that one person was not enough. He called Da Bai and more than 100 kobolds together to be coolies. To carry goods from both worlds. Among them, kobolds have never seen so much food. Pile up like a mountain, boxes of chicken, pork, etc., almost didn't flow out the salami. Occasionally, there is something that I want to steal, but I was bidden by the overseer Wang Kai. Let you see the productive forces that burst out of a complete industrial society. Life Department Store solved the big problem of employees, among which all kinds of shampoos and shower gels are very popular with Alice's 3 daughters. The newly purchased set of kitchen equipment also surprised Zawan. The hundreds of excavators, bulldozers, and concrete mixers that were shipped in later made the gold miners even more excited. One by one rush over to drive and get familiar with the performance. Mine owner, we have so many machines, I'm afraid no one can control them. Although those kobolds have a lot of strength, their heads are relatively stupid. Will the steps be too big? Grandpa Jack raised the same doubts as Miss Dao. Be prepared, and I'm going to summon a dungeon next. It is planned to start a large-scale infrastructure construction centered on it in the mine. Lay concrete roads to surrounding resource points. At that time, each machine will be convenient to open in the past for development. Quote. Yi Bai called the kobold to move the cement again. This afternoon is destined to be very busy. Yi Bai's hundreds of billions of funds were converted into various materials, which were continuously transported back to the mine. At the last sunset, the heavyweight shield machine and several large excavators were sent over, which shocked the grandfathers. With this big guy here, I'm afraid the Dragon Mountain range can be pierced. Grandpa Jack and his brothers all climbed on the 500-ton big guy, and excitedly discussed how to control it. Reminder, because of the abundance of materials and sufficient food, the happiness of all employees in your mine is +10. Seeing so many supplies coming, even the kobolds feel that the future of the mine is infinitely bright. With smiles on everyone's faces, they were excited to discuss tomorrow's development plan. Okay, grandpas, don't get excited. Everyone was tired today. The mine owner brought so many supplies and held a bonfire feast at night. Zawan greeted everyone to dinner. Yi Bai finally breathed a sigh of relief, after checking things. He began to organize his backpack a little. The return was too hasty last time, and it was too hasty just now. Many babies are pressed in the corners and not organized. No, Yi Bai, the mysterious baby rewarded by the last novice reward and wealth list reward, hasn't seen it yet. In the corner of the space, a quiet 9-color lucky bag lay there. Yi Bai took a closer look, his heart pounding. 9-colored lucky bag, the highest level lucky bag as a gift from the world. The first reward of the 855th Gold Digger Rookie King, different treasures will be offered depending on personal luck. It really is it. There are various lucky bags and treasure chests underground, but at this level, Yi Bai has only caught one in the hands of the dragon rat, and it has produced a glittering fruit. And now, finally, there is a second one. Haha, my luck is not what it used to be now. Just as Yi Bai was about to rub his hands and start drawing the prize, suddenly I saw that everyone was gathering in the cafeteria to prepare for dinner. Among them, there are more than 100 outsourced employees, and the figure of the little mole is particularly eye-catching. Maya is feeding them, so much food came in today. Everyone didn't worry about the food problem, they all let go of their stomachs and eat as much as possible. Maya, you've had a good relationship with the moles lately. I saw you and the dragon rat chatting secretly before. You can also see that today we held a feast in the mine, and we were full of rice and meat. As our strategic partner, you invite the dragon mouse and the moles to join in the fun. Yi Bai took out the dragon rat whisker from his wrist and handed it to Maya. Maya's long black eyebrows moved, and she always felt that he was a little malicious. She leaned forward and asked in Yi Bai's ear secretly, "Brother, you don't mean to catch that big fat rat? According to what I have learned in the past few days, although its combat effectiveness is not strong, its escapability is really powerful. And the luck value is very high. I have never seen such a high auspicious beast. If you hit it, it will definitely fail." Yi Bai has a serious face. "What nonsense are you talking about? I just kindly invited people to dinner. By the way, take a look at its European spirit, stack the lucky value to the end and then go to the lottery." At the end, Yi Bai asked curiously, "Is that big fat rat really so lucky? Higher than lucky?" Maya's little head nods like garlic. "It's very high, and after my inquiries these days, it seems to have a treasure of inheritance of the mouse family in its hand, and the effect is very strange. But there is no soft use for them, and they are being considered for sale." Quote, "Please note that Maya, your animal trainer, unintentionally discovered the hidden secrets of the gem dragon mouse through her talent, the treasure of the rat clan's inheritance. This hidden plot is extremely difficult to trigger, and it is only possible with high luck and high friendliness. It is said that in the underground world, there are legends about the inheritance of the 12 races. They are in the hands of the mice, cows, tigers and other ethnic groups, and the treasure of inheritance will be condensed in the body of the most outstanding creature of this tribe. It has all kinds of unimaginable powers that surpass divine weapons." Yi Bai listened to the music, and did not expect Maya to give herself such a big surprise when she came back. "I heard the legend of the divine weapon from Governor Zhang before. Unexpectedly, there was news of a heritage treasure comparable to an artifact in the blink of an eye. However, it is not necessarily true, it may be a special effect. Having said that, the dragon mouse is really a loser. As the number one existence among the underground rats, I didn't see any ambition to lead the rat race. Eat and drink all day, and now even the treasure of inheritance wants to sell. Then it's even more inviting." At Yi Bai's behest, Maya passed the beard. After swaying a few times, he quickly expressed the consciousness of inviting it to eat. And boldly expressed, "Bring thousands of moles nearby with you. Tonight, if there is enough food, Boss Yi has money." Hearing that there is free food and drink, Dragon Mouse responded more anxiously than anyone else. Before everyone moved their chopsticks, they heard a rumbling sound from the ground. A small black head appeared, and a big fat mouse swaggered into the cafeteria. He sat down on the chair, his eyes glowing at the table full of ingredients. Squeak! Seeing their partners coming, more than 100 outsourced employees, the moles shouted happily. Jiaosai also meows, and welcomes the dragon and mouse to come over and eat. Anyway, it and Wong Kai were already full at Blue Star. What steak Wellington, foie gras, caviar, it and Wong Kai all vomited. Ding dong, your friend Gem Dragon Rat brought a group of moles to come to eat. Welcome, Big Dragon Rat, we haven't seen each other for a long time. I just came back from my hometown and brought some food for everyone to eat tonight. Yi Bai, with a smile on his face, stepped forward and rubbed the furry head of the dragon and mouse. This enthusiasm makes it creepy, and it always feels weird. If it weren't for the mountains of delicacies in front of you, there are pigs, beef and sheep, seafood and lobsters, etc. The dragon rat might take his younger brother and run away now. Wong, facing the strange visitor, Wong Kai was very loyal and warned. However, it was quickly slapped by Lucky's paw. Tonight, the dragon mouse is Yi Bai's honored guest. What made everyone laugh and laugh was that when they saw a large group of moles coming to eat. The piranhas on both sides of the river were not happy, they opened their mouths and shook their 2 tree legs to come to the people who protect their home and defend the country. Brother the mine owner, the piranhas also want to eat. See you forget them, angry. Deliberate performance. Zawan is wearing a white apron that she just bought, serving meals to the big guy. In the past 2 days, she already knew their temperament. Yi Bai was amused by them. However, when I think of the large army going out to dig for treasure, the family is guarded by the piranha, which is indeed a credit. So he waved his hand. Purple Cuckoo, then please cut more meat for them. Cannibal peanuts are not taboo when cooked, just heat up those frozen meat and put some seasonings on it. Quote. Okay, the busiest thing today is Zawan, who has to take care of the food for such a large group of people. After such an episode, the atmosphere of the banquet became more lively. Because more and more people came, the big guy simply carried the tables and chairs to the open-air square. On the table are plates of cooked beef, mutton, and even lobster, fresh fish, etc. Some large watermelons and dragon fruits were piled into hills and no one moved. Grandpas eat meat and drink, not to mention how comfortable they are. In order to reward them, Yi Bai also specially asked Miss Dao to buy a batch of Maotai at a high price. Not to mention, the grandfathers of the miners like it very much, and the leopard head also loves it very much. Holding Maotai as a swig. He was even surprised to find that the attributes of the leopard head and the miner's grandfather increased by 1 level when he was in a state of drunkenness, 597. But at the wine table, Yi Bai also had the opportunity to have a relationship with the dragon and mouse. The other party was chatting, holding a braised beef shank that was bigger than it was chewing. He didn't notice Yi Bai's small movements either. In the past, the cultivation level was not enough, but now Yi Bai can see more information about the dragon and mouse. Gem Dragon Rat. It is very likely that it is the luckiest super auspicious beast in the underground world. It has been wandering underground for more than 1,000 years. Many legends have been left behind. Escape ability SSS. Combat effectiveness is extremely weak. The world has given it the luck that no one can hurt, and it has also given it an attack that can't hurt anyone. The most extreme creatures, but please be kind. I seem to be worrying about the disposal of a stone at home recently, maybe you may get a surprise if you ask. Quote. Yi Bai is a little interested in the heritage treasure of the rat tribe. I secretly sent a message to Maya using the liaison device and asked her to do some tricks. Contacts are similar to mobile phones, but simpler and more robust. Maya was already proficient before. After seeing Yi Bai's secret code, she smiled and brought a pot of cheese to the other side. Even if the dragon rat is vigilant by nature, it is greedy after all. And he really didn't feel the malice from Yi Bai and others. After being fooled for a while, he finally fumbled around in his pocket for a while, and took out the treasure of inheritance that he planned to sell recently. It was a piece of material like ordinary rock, with a gray body and an octagonal shape. The surface is depicted with a few simple lines, forming the appearance of a mouse. Maya was confused for a while, feeling that the dragon rat was drunk. Just take out a stone and fool yourself. Yi Bai was struck by lightning, and the information given by the appraisal technique made him confirm the answer. Rat Charm. The rat of the zodiac, one of the 12 treasures of the zodiac, circulates in the underground world. The spells are in the hands of the most outstanding creatures in the zodiac. Containing the power of life, it can give static energy and power, so that non-living things have the ability to live and move. Although it is not an artifact, it contains more miraculous power than an artifact. After collecting all of them, it seems that a very dangerous hidden plot will be triggered. Please be careful. A treasure that is extremely extreme and tasteless, no wonder the dragon and mouse want to sell it. In its hands, it is no different from an ordinary stone. But Yi Bai suddenly thought that he was 5 kilometers from the abyss. The mysterious female statue excavated with the gates of hell. Buried so deep, or guarded by the flame demon, it should be extremely extraordinary, right? Originally sealed by some god-level petrification technique, it is impossible to resurrect. But with the rat charm, everything is hopeful. So Yi Bai quietly instructed Maya, talk to the dragon rat and ask him how to buy the treasure of inheritance. Maya turned her head and smiled and said, "Boss, I understand." The next thing is to chat with the dragon mouse for a while. The dragon rat is obviously more interested in the food on the table than the Maya. Your trainer Maya is negotiating a deal with the dragon mouse, but it seems that the dragon mouse is more interested in food. Yi Bai is not in a hurry. Anyway, the dragon and the mouse can't run, just grind slowly, it's a big deal to add money. Taking advantage of the fact that the 3 auspicious beasts are now complete, Yi Bai used another lucky grass for himself, feeling that he had an unprecedented European aura behind his feet. Finally, I carefully took out the 9-color lucky bag and chose to open it, accompanied by a burst of 9-colored light rising from the lucky bag. Everyone's eyes were attracted, only to see Yi Bai from the lucky bag. Carefully took out a fishing rod made of golden bamboo, even the hook line and hook are golden, very dazzling. It is very in line with Yi Bai's local tyrant temperament. Congratulations on your lucky breakout, you won a god-level fishing rod that fits 100% of yourself. The voice ringing in his ears made Yi Bai feel like he was struck by lightning, god level. What concept? He quickly checked the properties of the fishing rod in his hand. This treasure is indeed extraordinary. Yi Bai couldn't put it down when he touched it, and it fits him very well. If it is a fishing guy, for this equipment, it is estimated that he can do whatever it takes. Name: Golden Fishing Rod. Level: God level. Category: Life tool, not a weapon, not an artifact. Attribute: Attack power is 0, and it can only be damaged in battles with a firmness of God level or above. Skill: Rod of Infinite Extension. This god-level fishing rod can extend the fishing rod infinitely, ensuring that you can catch prey, not air force. Line of Infinite Extension. Throw out the fishing rod, the fishing line can be extended infinitely, don't worry about it breaking. Unless there are artifacts, god-level attacks can carry unlimited power. All-powerful must hit the hook. Ignoring soil, metal deposits, oceans and even various complex environments. As long as the owner wants to catch something, he can hook it even in a circle. Vigorously perform miracles. Increase the master's strength by 100 times, catch the prey, and never let go. Automatically remove 99 points of the opponent's power. Description: The savior of the fishing guy, the best fishing rod in the world. To some, he is the king of artifacts. Although it is not an artifact, in some cases, it is more effective than an artifact. Shaking the golden fishing rod, Yi Bai's expression was both surprised and happy. I thought it was my first artifact, but it turned out to be a god-level living utensil. But it seems to fit me very well, very suitable for the underground world. With its own perspective function, it is even more powerful. Yi Bai's hands were itchy for a while, Yuenshen's eyes lit up. I saw a diamond hidden at a depth of more than 10 meters under my feet. He threw the pole in the past, and saw that the hook line quickly disappeared. The golden fish hook escaped into the ground with silk thread, and hooked the diamond with precision. Do you want to start taking the line? Creak creak. Yi Bai hurriedly turned the reel, but he didn't use any force, and with a swoosh, the fish hook hoisted the diamond, and the whole process didn't take even a minute. Congratulations on your successful catching of a diamond, please make persistent efforts. The crowd watched in amazement. Grandpa Jack joked, "Mine owner, you will have this pole in the future. I'm afraid that in the sky and the ground, fishing is possible there. There are so many of us brothers, it is estimated that they can't compare to your harvest." Quote, "It's still early, but this equipment is really good. In the future, I will have the opportunity to go to the real sea to catch fish." Yi Bai loves golden fishing rods. I feel that I don't need a crane in the future, and I can use this fishing rod to conquer the world. The only regret is that their territory has not yet expanded to the ocean area. The real job of the fishing rod can't be played yet. The ocean is a great treasure, and there are more treasures hidden than the land. In the future, I will build a super warship and conquer Wang Yang. This is Yi Bai's lofty plan long ago. The Golden Brothers also have Popeye, Sinbad and other brothers who are good at ocean. But for now, we must conquer the White Galaxy first. The feast in the evening continued until after 10 o'clock, and everyone was very drunk. Newly purchased energy lamps are hung around the mine, and the surrounding areas are brightly illuminated. The three of Alice excitedly went to experiment with the shower gel, while Yi Bai was calculating tomorrow's plans. Digging into the abyss before, the risk is greater, and the reward is greater. There are also longevity trees, blessing trees, and other messy and mysterious things that have not been planted, and even the golden rubbish has not been sprinkled. These can only be done tomorrow. It is also convenient to build roads and expand territories during the day. Now at night, Yi Bai has only one choice, and a mysterious card appears in his hand. After so long, I can finally release you. With you here, you can sit back and relax in the future, and you don't have to worry about the safety of the mine. Quote. Yi Bai was holding that SSS World card. Whether to use the World card, Lorraine Dungeon. Sure, please select the scope of delivery, whether it is integrated with the existing gold mines. There are two options here. If fused, then the gold mine will appear in one of the dungeons, and the wall has continued to wrap around the mine. If not integrated, the two places are close to each other, similar to the suburbs. Yi Bai thought about it for a while, and felt that it was better to hide inside. Merge with the gold mine and place it next to the dungeon walls. With the order issued, the blood jade-like card in his hand turned into a black streamer and disappeared in the air. Meanwhile, in the void, a magnificent, ancient and mysterious underground city phantom rumblingly appeared, shrouding the sky over the mine. Slowly fall, in the process, continued to materialize. It was a castle complex similar to European style, but with a cold and long-standing exotic style. The mottled and charred city wall seems to announce its former glory. What's the matter? There was a big earthquake around the mine, and the gold miners, pets, and Alice all woke up and walked out in a daze. After seeing the earth-shaking changes around them, they were all stunned. Congratulations on your successful use of the World card. Congratulations on becoming the Lord of Lorraine Dungeon. Congratulations on completing the milestone achievement in the underground world. Accompanied by a series of reminder sounds. Yi Bai couldn't help laughing. A dream that was once out of reach is now half complete. Congratulations on your milestone achievement. The gold mine can summon a super gold miner. Congratulations on your promotion to the Lord of Lorraine Dungeon. Please continue to build the dungeon. Bring it back to glory and retrieve the lost fragments of history. As the City Lord, you can summon 4 major professional mentors. In the future, you can summon dungeon warriors by consuming magic cores and spirit stones every day. Special buildings in the dungeon: Moonlight Tavern, Blacksmith Shop, Martial Arts Field, Job Transfer Hall, etc. have been automatically unlocked, and you can lead the residents to stay in them. Lorraine Dungeon, as the beginning and end of the Arid continent, has the function of attracting other Arid series cards by nature. Please collect the Arid cards as your responsibility. The appearance of the dungeon will deepen the suspicion of you nearby, the difficulty will be changed, but at the same time the harvest will be greater. The good news came again and again, and the appearance of Lorraine City surprised everyone. Architect Grover looked at the buildings in the underground city in awe, and said that there is a rich history and culture in it, and there must be a glorious history. Hee, Sister Alice, we can live in the castle tonight. I want to live with you. Maya, Alice, and Zawan have all started to choose a suitable room. Yi Bai checked his dashboard and found that in addition to the owner of the gold mine, there was another identity. Lorraine Dungeon Master. Currently it is the original Black Iron Dungeon. If you want to upgrade, you need to meet many conditions, and use a higher level city building order. The current distance to upgrade the bronze level dungeon, the required conditions. Number 500 not reached. Wealth 10 tons of gold, or equivalent reached. Combat strength of at least 1 gold, 10 silver, basic bronze warriors 100 achieved. Territory 50 kilometers, only 20 kilometers field control, not reached. Food reached. The most core building, the gold mine, has reached at least 3 orifices not reached. The most critical item, bronze level city building order, not reached. After careful inspection, Yi Bai found that he faced more problems. Out of the novice stage, but need more baby. Yi Bai felt a pain in his head when he thought that there were so many unresolved matters. He simply didn't want to, but greeted the 3 daughters of Alice. In the evening, accompany yourself around the dungeon. In the city of Lorraine, it currently covers an area of about 2 kilometers. It also comes with street lights, but it needs to consume magic cores. Alice joked aside. Brother must work hard in the future, otherwise the daily maintenance of dungeons and mines will not be enough. Speaking of this is a headache, and each machine also needs a massive energy source. Right, grandpas, where did they go? Yi Bai is taking the 3 to the City Lord's mansion in the center, which will be Yi Bai's residence in the future. Alice and others also plan to live near the City Lord's mansion. Zawan joked. They saw a Moonlight Tavern. They asked me for some wine and food just now, and they went to the tavern with the leopard-headed uncles. Yi Bai was amused. It seems that in the future, the gold miners are having fun. But working so hard during the day, you really should have a good rest at night. I don't know if the dungeon can summon the elf singer, or arrange for one to go to the tavern. Brother, are you going to the transfer hall at night? Passing by the building next to him, Yi Bai walked in with the three of them, which was also the largest building in the city. Yes, 4 mentors can be summoned today. They may be the cornerstone of our dungeon guard. Yi Bai didn't dare to neglect, and when he reached the hall, he decisively issued an order. Summon the 4 great mentors. Based on the dungeon fetters, a mentor is being summoned. Along with the 4 rays of light flickering, the figures of 2 men and 2 women gradually emerged. Congratulations on successfully summoning the Berserker Mentor Guigu, Mage Mentor Yuyu, Clergy Mentor Annie, and Sharpshooter Mentor Fang Hao. The Berserker is a young man with wild white hair and a giant sword. The Sharpshooter is a handsome boy in a western cowboy suit. The timid-looking girl with 2 ponytails, red hair, and a height of only 1.5 meters must be a magician. In the end, the blonde royal sister who held the Holy Scripture and had the special effects of holy light must be a priest. The moment the 4 of them appeared, they immediately knelt down when they saw Yi Bai. Knock on Lord Lauren. Get up first. Yi Bai is a little curious about their abilities. He glanced roughly and found that the 4 of them were all silver level, and seemed to be limited by himself, the summoner. However, the fields they belong to are different, and they are in charge of melee combat, long-distance combat, heavy firepower provision or emergency assistance, and logistics priests. Even though there are only 4 people, the basic team is already complete. At least there is no need to worry about the safety of the dungeon. I haven't heard the call of the dungeon for a long time, and I have already felt the call of Arid continent. Lord, we want to rebuild the glory of Arid. Save Lilia. Yeah, we've slept for too long. The legend of 8 million dungeon warriors has been forgotten by the underworld. Brother City Lord, is there anything to eat? I've been hungry for 10,000 years. Master Lilia is still waiting for us to rescue her, she must still be trapped in the abyss. The 4 mentors had just been summoned, and they seemed very motivated. The 3 Alice looked at each other. The youngest, Yuyu, was hungry as soon as she was called. Zawan finally saw a little girl of the same age as herself, and was busy looking for food for her with a smile. Yi Bai got a little headache from their energy. In the evening, everyone has to rest. As for recasting the glory of Arid, we can only talk about it later. After thinking about it, he took out a statue from the space ring. With a bang, he put it on the ground and asked, "Is this the Lilia you're looking for?" There is no need to save, people are here. The noisy scene suddenly fell silent, and the 4 mentors looked at the statue and stared at each other. The most loyal pastor, Sister Yu, was jealous on the spot, knelt on the ground, and said sadly, "Lord Lilia, why are you petrified, and what means should we use to save you?" The other 3 mentors hurriedly ran over to study. The more they researched, the more desperate they became. This is the forbidden spell issued by the devil, the ultimate petrification technique. It specializes in dealing with the ultimate powerhouses who are undead and extremely difficult to destroy. It is known that after being recruited, you will sleep until the end of time. There was a burst of sobbing in the field, and the eyes of the 4 mentors were full of despair. They didn't expect to hear this bad news just after waking up. Maya hesitated, but finally Yi Bai said, "There is no road to nowhere, nothing is impossible. I just know that there is a treasure that can bring this Lilia back to life. Besides, there are all kinds of magic potions in the world, and maybe there are some that can lift the spell. Mentors, don't worry too much. Not so easy to untangle. The level is too high. Pastor Royal Sister is still desperate." Yi Bai could only tell them a little about the rat spell, and there was hope in the eyes of the 4 of them. "It's a long-term deal, and I've sent Maya to talk. The most urgent task now is for the 4 of you to familiarize yourself with the defense of the dungeon. Ready to rest at night, there will be busy work tomorrow." The 4 of them knew Lauren better than Yi Bai. Along the way, they took Yi Bai and Alice and quickly walked around the big and small corners of the city. According to what they said, the area of Loran City today is only 1,000th of the peak period. Many fragments of the city are lost. At that time, Loran City was in the center of Arid continent and was very prosperous. It is both the beginning and the end of the world. Referring to this, Yi Bai asked curiously, what does the description of the town of beginning and end mean? Does the destruction of Arid have anything to do with it? Although Yu looks small, her knowledge is the most profound. Throwing off her red double ponytails, she explained. Someone once said that there is a lamentation cave in the deepest part of Loran City, which is the map with the highest challenge level and also contains the truth of the destruction of the world. But until the end no one could find out where it was. It may be that our rating is not enough. Translated into Yi Bai's understanding, Loran City has not been upgraded to the top in the end, and the hidden highest map has not been revealed. These are for later, the priority is sleep. The 4 mentors have just been resurrected and are full of fighting spirit. Yi Bai and the others were carrying goods from the 2 realms, but they were exhausted. The grandpas are all asleep at the Moonlight Tavern. See how the teachers are full of energy. Yi Bai's helpless arrangement instructions. The dungeon was first built, and there may be some monsters peeping and testing around it. In addition, the defense of the city wall has not been built yet. The 4 of you will be in charge of the vigil tonight. Quote, follow your orders, City Lord. This is exactly what the teacher meant. Yi Bai couldn't hold it anymore, so he went to the City Lord's mansion to rest with the lucky and prosperous wealth. Alice and the others parted outside the mansion and lived on both sides temporarily. Walk into the mighty and spacious City Lord's mansion, and walk through the aisle with the statue of the knight erected. Yi Bai felt a bit like a City Lord. I don't know when the Arid series will be collected. By the way, he also moved Lilia's statue to the hall, looking at her beautiful face. Yi Bai thought about her message. According to monthly data, Lilia has existed on the continent from a long time ago at this time, and is known as the Immortal and the Omniscient. Knowledgeable, guarded by the holy light, but incapable of fighting. Instead, it is fully assisted, purified, and full of mysteries. I don't know if getting the rat spell will bring it back to life. Yi Bai was lying on a big bed big enough to sleep 5 or 6 people, covered with a velvet quilt bought by Blue Star. Comfortably enjoy this moment of calm. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eyes, he caught sight of the stone sculpture in the corner of the hall. The bright moonlight fell, as if to put a layer of gauze on this beautiful woman who was half-blooded and full of mysteries. Tranquility and serenity, warmth and tranquility, Yi Bai fell asleep before he knew it. And the quality of sleep this night was excellent. Chapter 91. The next morning, Yi Bai was awakened by the warm touch on his face, opened his eyes. Huo ran as a cute white cat with a lucky white head, sticking out his tongue and licking himself. At the same time, Wang Kai wagged his tail under the bed, and he didn't know where to get a yellowed blueprint. Just as he was wondering, he was completely awake by the sound of the horns ringing continuously in his ears. On a new day, your 2 pet talent effects will take effect. Your total wealth value, 430,000, increased by 3%, changed to 44.3. The number of summons of your dungeon and gold mine personnel has been refreshed, plus the super summons that were not used yesterday. After receiving the blessings of the auspicious animal and the lucky tree, the dungeon can summon 4 dungeon warriors respectively. The mine can summon 3 gold miners and a super miner. Your platinum star, Shaohei River Basin, and 10 mu of land respectively produce some special products. Please pay attention to check them. It's all good news, as well as a private message from Mu Lingwei. Back underground, the official channel is unlocked for us. Last time you collected a huge sum of money from the Logan Consortium. Some people in the Lighthouse country hold grudges in their hearts and plan to snipe you commercially. Be careful not to reveal your coordinates. By the way, are you sure about the Super Rookie King in a month? Now the first place is still occupied by people from the Lighthouse country. Quote. Yi Bai quickly replied, I came back last night and brought back a large amount of supplies. Where is the wealth list of the Super Rookie King? Mu Lingwei replied quickly. Yi Bai was also in the various rankings on the panel. C. 2144 Rookie of the Year ranking. The above record is the comprehensive strength ranking of all newcomers this year. Not only wealth, but also territory, population, etc. Among them, Yi Bai found out where he was, and it turned out to be the 105th. Not even in the top 100. And his comprehensive data is only 10,000 evaluation values. If it weren't for the dungeon, Yi Bai guessed that he would be able to get 1,000 evaluation points. Ranking should be thousands of miles away. As for the first and second, Jackson from the official training of the Lighthouse Country, and Paul from the Logan Foundation. That Paul, on 2144's Channel of the Year, publicly shouted. The rookie king from the Yan Kingdom has been making a lot of noise recently. But in my opinion, just a scumbag stealing my cousin's wealth. I haven't found the coordinates of his mine now, or I'll definitely avenge poor Johnson. Take back all his gold and wealth. Many of this year's gold diggers echoed Paul's words. After all, Yi Bai was born only 3 days ago. While others have been struggling for 11 months, the starting line is different. In particular, the number 1 Jackson is far ahead with a super evaluation value that far exceeds everyone. Hee, is that Johnson his cousin? Yi Bai smiled and turned off the panel. I'm still busy today, and I don't have time to waste time with them. When he was about to go out, he was attracted by the yellowed drawings in Wang Kai's mouth. A line of small print floated from the dog's head. Your pet is prosperous, talent search and treasure hunter start. I got a goblin map from somewhere last night, this is a plot prop. Yi Bai crouched down in amazement, touched the dog's head, and picked up the map from its mouth. Encouraged. Well done, add a leg of lamb for breakfast. Wong. When Wang Kai heard the encouragement, he shook his tail happily. Lucky, who jumped off the bed, was angry when he saw this, meowing, and waving his claws unhappily. He ran out the door in a hurry. Zhao Kai, where are you going? It's time for breakfast. Wait, why did you jump into the river? Want to eat fish? The voices of Alice and the others could be heard vaguely outside. Yi Bai was looking at the map and wondering when he heard a reminder. Your pet is lucky and jealous, use your talents to bring you adventures. Haha, I never thought that 2 pets could compete with each other. After this, wouldn't there be 2 adventures every day? Yi Bai laughed out loud, not expecting the competition in the lazy fortune-telling, so he worked even harder. And when the eyes returned to the goblin map, Yi Bai vaguely discovered that the map was in the south of his mine. There is a humid tropical rainforest that is difficult to develop, and there are many kinds of monsters. The map marked a small tribe of goblins. Reminder, you have obtained the key plot prop, Goblin Blueprint, and found that it is located not far from the south of the mine. There is a tribe of goblins in a critical moment of survival, a group of industrious and commanding creatures. Good at digging holes, blacksmithing, researching machinery, maybe you should go and lend a hand. If there is a huge amount of food to hire them, and then solve their crisis, there may be surprises. It turned out to be a goblin tribe. Yi Bai was greatly surprised. That's not a goblin, but an underground creature that is smarter than them, similar to dwarves, proficient in machinery and alchemy. Yesterday, I was worried that there were too many machines and no one could control them. I didn't expect Wang Kai to give myself such a big surprise now. Good job. After breakfast, I'll send someone to investigate. Yi Bai rubbed Wang Kai's dog's head, cleaned up, and walked out of the city lord's mansion. When passing by the Lilia statue, I was thinking about the rat spell. The mine owner brother is getting up, everyone is very motivated today. The grandfathers have already started the shield machine, intending to cut through the Dragon Mountain range. On the tidy street, Alice was greeting him. With a new home in the dungeon, everyone's happiness index has increased significantly. In the future, the mine will be the place of work and the source of funds. A dungeon is a living area. There are a lot of things today, and the cards brought from the canyon last time are useless. Don't worry, I'll call a few people to help first. What is lacking most now is manpower. Quote. Yi Bai also saw 4 mentors along the way. They stayed up all night and were in good spirits. Among them, the berserkers and sharpshooters brought back the prey from last night, which turned out to be a silver-level monster, and they could have a snack in the morning. Transfer Hall. Yi Bai opened the panel and issued an order. Are you consuming Bronze Magic Core X4 to summon 4 dungeon warriors? Sure. With the disappearance of the 4 magic cores, 4 teleportation rays appeared in the hall. At the same time, 4 dungeon warriors with different looks appeared, and their temperament and transmission were the same as those of the 4 mentors. So much so that the magician Yuyu cried, 4 more companions. Congratulations on successfully summoning a bronze-level berserker Sheila, bronze-level sharpshooter class Nay. Bronze level magician Chingching, bronze level cleric Dongru. It was still a combination of 2 men and 2 women. Yi Bai directly summoned 4 mentors. The corresponding professional warriors summoned in the future will all be assigned to your own command. Your task is to be responsible for combat matters. To make money in mine, you have to be the grandpas of the miners in the mine. Okay, promise to complete the boss's arrangement. Among the 4 mentors, Yuyu was the most likable. It looks like a 14 or 15-year-old girl, plus a beautiful red double ponytail. In one night, he mingled with the other 3 girls. Yuyu did not call the other 3 the city owner, but called the boss directly. Yi Bai also likes her, the red-haired magician. After all, she is quite handsome and has a lively and lovely temperament. City Lord, I observed the surrounding environment a little last night. I found that the bottom of the basin where Loran City is located, although the location is good, has mountains and water. But there is a giant dragon mountain range in the east, and a top platinum magic dragon lurks. There is a silver river in the west, and there are many monsters lurking in the river. Going around a road, going from the northwest, the Jurassic Forest looks endless, and I don't know where it ends. If we want to develop, we must either slay the dragon or develop the navy to conquer the White Galaxy. Along the river, all the way to the south, straight to the sea. 35. The Berserker mentor Guigu is the most energetic, carrying a giant sword. Excited and Yi Bai plan expansion plans. The sharpshooter instructor was non-committal, rather following the trend. Blonde royal sister and Maya are relatively close, like nature and animals. At present, I am discussing with Maya wholeheartedly how to get the rat spell from the dragon rat. Yi Bai walked with the group and said, "Let's start with the long-term plan, and we will settle the assessment at the end of the month. The most urgent task is to accumulate wealth and expand the territory. It is not easy to provoke too many enemies. You go to the cafeteria first, I am summoning a few companions." Quote. Yi Bai brought prosperity again and took a detour to the gold mine. Here begins the second call. Summon gold miners. With the appearance of 4 golden lights, 3 miners who are exactly the same as Grandpa Jack. And the other one is obviously brighter and looks different from the Golden Brothers. A young guy with a yellow mining hat, a big electric drill, and snow-white front teeth. You've won the jackpot. Yi Bai's eyes lit up, knowing that this young man was the super miner of yesterday's achievement reward. Congratulations on your success in summoning gold miner Pete, Anthony, Mechanic George, and the son of Underground Luck, the digger A. Kong. Reminder, your miner chief, Grandpa Jack, has 3 more golden brothers, all attributes plus 30% Li Nujiao. The 4 of them had just been summoned, looking left and right. I already smell gold. Brother Jack is calling us. Hey, 3 old grandpas, where are you from? Yi Bai was happier to see a few of them than to see the dungeon warriors. Busy and enthusiastic greeting. Grandpa Jack is already waiting for you in the cafeteria, come with me. Hearing the dry meal, a group of 5 enthusiastically rushed to the cafeteria. At the same time, Yi Bai asked about the abilities of the 4 and checked their attributes. Among them, Pete and Anthony have similar skills to other gold miners, but their attributes are significantly higher, and they are considered top bronze miners. The mechanic, George, solved Yi Bai's urgent needs. He was a rare talent among miners. Name, George. Staff number, 15. Loyalty, 100. Level, top bronze. Attributes, Strength 120, Spirit 90, Constitution 100, Agility 95. Skill, top student. George is one of the Golden Brothers, one of the few who has read a lot of books. Not only is he familiar with all kinds of geographic knowledge, he is also proficient in mechanics. Mechanical proficiency. George is familiar with thousands of machines, as long as it is related to digging, he knows all about it. Design and maintenance. Not only familiar, George can also maintain and design. The ability to use hands and brains is extremely strong. Don't worry about the machine lying in the nest, immediately find the nest goblin to help George. As for the digger who has the achievement reward, it is an SSR card, and it has an excellent panel that is not inferior to Grandpa Jack. Among them, the Son of Luck is quite intriguing, which means that he is also the protagonist of the game. Yi Bai patted it. This guy with extremely white front teeth had very high expectations for him. Rising Star, A. Kong, the important task of succeeding the gold miners will be handed over to you. Akong wears a yellow mining hat with a green cross on it. He said embarrassedly, "Mine owner, I just want to mine to make money and find Xiaoshui who was captured by the Demon King." Yi Bai also saw his panel at this time, and it was unexpectedly powerful. Name: Akon. Employee number: 16. Loyalty: 100. Level: Top Silver. Attributes: Strength 250, Spirit 200, Constitution 200, Agility 195. Talent skill: Hole drilling expert. Akong is very talented, all the digging machines and tools he opens are 10 times more efficient. Any obstacle encountered can be easily solved, and sometimes unexpected products can be discovered. Even if it is 10,000 meters underground, as long as he is given time, he can dig through it. The son of luck. Akong is also the person who is favored by the luck of the underground world, and has the same potential and wisdom as the golden boss Grandpa Jack. He has all the attributes that the protagonist must match for every bad luck, good luck and good luck. Closing parenthesis. Ore expert. Akong is familiar with thousands of underground ores, and what is even more amazing is that you can also use ore to make bomb attacks. As long as you gather the materials, nuclear bombs will be allocated for you. Boss Nemesis. As a standard protagonist, his girlfriend was caught by Boss. He passed 5 levels and 6 generals all the way, and finally defeated Boss, saving the world as standard. Therefore, in addition to punching holes, Akong's combat power is also very strong, and has special attacks on various elite monsters and Boss. The stronger the stronger. Description: Akong has all the characteristics of the protagonist: young, passionate, talented, kidnapped girlfriend. Please cultivate well, maybe he will bring you great surprises. Yi Bai felt that he was not only as simple as he looked on the surface, but his hidden attributes such as luck were also extremely high. And no matter what, there is a talent in the mine who can take charge of both sides and take into account the battle. The group walked to the cafeteria, and Yi Bai took him seriously and introduced him to the old staff, and taught him the mystery of the spiral force. Unexpectedly, Akong also has a lot of research on the drill bit, which is very suitable for the screw force, and he has gained a lot. There are more and more people in the mines, and all aspects of fighting, living, and digging treasures are complete. What is lacking most now is the basic manpower. Grandpa Jack laughed in the cafeteria. The breakfast on the table is very rich. After all, the two worlds are connected. Good milk, bread, and pieces of grilled meat, grilled fish, and even freshly picked fruit from the fields. The dungeon warriors, as well as the newcomers who just arrived, ate meat so hard that they almost swallowed their tongues. Yi Bai was also eating and explaining his work today. With the dungeon, many things are convenient for us. The sharpshooters' mentors, Fang Hao, Yuyu, and 2 mentors are responsible for guarding the home with 4 apprentices to ensure that the supplies are not peeped or stolen by monsters. Leopard headbands. Several people who are responsible for following the mining group and act as security guards. This morning, I will summarize the last harvest at the mine and help Grandpa Gord grow some treasures. Grandpa Jack led people to start the construction site machine, and poured cement on the 2 avenues of the east and west. Akong's and several old employees drove the shield machine to open up the giant dragon mountains to obtain funds. Some things were arranged, and finally Yi Bai instructed CJBF to Guigu. You are the strongest. After eating, you will ride 100 feet and go to the goblin tribe in the south to check the information. Pay attention to possible crises, focus on investigation. Be careful not to hurt the goblins. I'll take them as staff if I get the chance. After speaking, Yi Bai handed the map to the berserker. Guigu naturally agreed to the adventure. With things so arranged, everyone also left the city one after another, busy with their own work. Zawan was cooking things after dinner, probed the probe, and asked curiously, "Where's Lucky? Are you still in the river? Don't come to dinner anymore." Alice took a sheep bone, threw it out to tease Wong Kai, and said with a smile, "It was previously given credit by Wong Kai, and now it is sulking. I didn't bring good things to my brother. It seems that I don't want to come back from the Shaohei Basin." While they were joking, they suddenly saw a golden and white figure rushing out from the river. Surprised, cannibals dance. I saw Zhao Kai holding a 5-colored koi in his mouth, happily shaking the water droplets on his body. All the way back to the city trot, leaving a trail of water all the way. What happened? While everyone was wondering, Yi Bai heard a system reminder. Congratulations to your pet Lucky. After unremitting efforts, you have caught a lucky beast, colorful koi from the small river basin. Congratulations on your luck, but it is not recommended to eat koi, it is harmful. Yi Bai's face was stunned when he saw the lucky fortune rushing over to celebrate. You caught an auspicious beast. Isn't this the legendary colorful koi? He's seen it in textbooks before. There are no more than 3 aliens in the Yan Kingdom with the name of the lucky cat. One of them was in the hands of Mu Lingwei's father's Yi group, and was regarded as a treasure. Raised by a professional team of more than 1,000 people. As a result, now my family is lucky enough to catch me when I get jealous. Looking at the koi still in its mouth, flapping its tail, leaves. Bai hurriedly picked up the lucky money in distress. Let go first, don't kill it. A live koi is worth 100 times more than a dead one. Yeah, isn't this a koi that brings good luck? It's good for luck. Brother, you are not going to eat it. Zawan also saw this koi, and hurriedly took a wooden basin in distress, put it in water, and used it as a fish tank. After the colorful koi was thrown in, there were a few puffs, and half of their souls were frightened. Swimming tremblingly in the tub. Luckily, he meows towards Yi Bai a few times. Yi Bai laughed and took out his favorite dried fish. Good, give me an adventure one day in the future. After Zhao Kai jumped up and bit the dried fish, he ran to Wang Kai to show off. Prosperity is good-natured by nature, and is more senior than it is to attract wealth. Therefore, he was taught by Zhao Kai honestly, as if to announce that your elder brother is still your elder brother. Yi Bai looked at the attributes of the koi at this time. Colorful koi. The auspicious beast can lead the fish to multiply and thrive. When encountering waters and rivers, you can bring pearls, shells, and drawings of sunken ships to the host. The meat is extremely delicious and can be called the best in the world. After eating it, the luck value will be permanently increased, and there is a high chance of breaking through the current evolutionary level. But it is not recommended to use, it is too wasteful. This kind of baby, if you put it back in the small river basin, I don't know when it will disappear. It has to be placed in the inner lake of your own house. Yi Bai suddenly thought of something. Take out a card from the backpack, it is the S rank, Moonlight on the Lotus Pond. Busy for so long, finally free to use cards. Alice, Maya, you come out with me. Quote. After all, he took out a few cards and headed out. At this moment, the sun is just right. The ancient city wall of the dungeon was erected, and there were 2 sharpshooters guarding the city wall. With the roar of the machine, the gold miners began to lay cement roads around. Dubai led a group of kobolds to help move bricks and mix cement. Akong followed Martin and several old men, and also brought 50 kobolds to mine, because the shield machine was too powerful. They also share the perspective function, plus their own super talent. Basically, at a glance, it is clear what treasures are in the ground. Small pieces of dog-head gold popped out endlessly, and occasionally there were large gold nuggets the size of adults. Yi Bai saw the +1, +2, +3 wealth values appearing on their heads. After the fun, Yi Bai also walked to the farmland behind the dungeon. Use the S-rank territory card, Moonlight on the Lotus Pond, the S-rank Immortal Medicine, Shoshu, and Blessing Tree. Use the A-rank Special Fertilizer card, Jin Kayla, the B-rank card, Scented Hazel Root, and the Mysterious Seeds. Yi Bai used all the cards and mysterious items he had dug up in the abyss, accompanied by a burst of 9 colored lights surrounding him. The surrounding venues have undergone earth-shaking changes. The first is that the moonlight falls, a lotus pond like a crescent moon descends. On the lotus pond, the lotus leaves are swaying, the dewdrops are dripping, the lotus flowers are blooming, and the fragrance is overflowing. There is also a stone pavilion in the center of the lotus pond for people to rest and admire the moon. The most striking thing is that a largest multicolored lotus slowly unfolds. A beautiful Thumbelina who was less than 10 centimeters in length, wearing a skirt made of petals, danced gracefully. Alice and the girls who were watching this wonderful scene were pleasantly surprised, and even the magician Yuyu, who was on patrol, came to join in the fun. Annie, the blonde royal sister, noticed the vision and came out of the city master's mansion. After seeing Thumbelina, Mei Mu was surprised and liked it very much. The happiest thing turned out to be lucky fortune. When it saw Thumbelina in the lotus flower, it meowed excitedly. I was about to jump into the river to pick it, thinking it was a novelty toy. Maya's eyes and hands quickly pull it. The koi can't live better here. 35. Ziju walked to the pond and carefully put down the colorful koi. The koi flapped its tail, splashed water droplets, and swam to the depths of the lotus pond. After a while, the colorful koi wandered with Thumbelina on their back. There are also long, colorful shoals of carp behind it, which are extremely beautiful. A ray of sunshine emanated from the colorful koi, making the lotus blossoms bloom. On the pond filled with wisps of spiritual energy, the scene was extremely peaceful. Congratulations to your card. Lotus Pond Moonlight and Colorful Koi are very compatible. Evolved to SS level, Colorful Wishing Pond. This card can produce X100 top quality therapeutic carp, X1000 delicious screw, X1000 aura lotus root. Auspicious lotus flower X100, blessing lotus X10, new special effect, pray and make a wish. The sudden surprise surprised everyone. Yi Bai didn't even expect his first SS card to come like this. And at the same time, in Channel of the Year, a banner was pulled out brightly, and the announcement appeared in the ears of tens of millions of mine owners throughout the year. On the annual ranking list, Yi Bai's ranking suddenly jumped to the top 100 newcomers, ranking 98. Annual announcement. Congratulations to the new mine owner, the city owner of Loran City. Yi Bai's fortune is monstrous. Successfully used the S Plus card, Lotus Pond Moonlight, and Colorful Koi to synthesize SS level, Colorful Wishing Pond. The gold mine has 3 auspicious animal town houses, and the average output is 10 times higher than that of the same level. Yi Bai's annual ranking was successfully promoted to 98th, and the comprehensive evaluation value reached 12,000. If the quota remains unchanged, there will be huge rewards for the annual settlement after January. Hope other mine owners work harder and be caught up by newcomers. This announcement attracted the attention of many people. Before Yi Bai's novice stage, there was a lot of uproar, and he offended many people. Now that the Raptors are crossing the river and want to compete for the Super Rookie King, they naturally offend many people in terms of interests. The newcomer is giving us a smash. SS card. Do you have the top 10 mine owners? Paul, the nourishment of this newcomer's life is entirely cultivated by your Logan consortium. That stupid brother of yours took all his fortune to fund his enemies. I wonder where he got so many auspicious beasts. The difficulty luck value is really so high. With such high luck, any treasure can be found. Although it is said that it is a newcomer who has not arrived in a week, everyone should be vigilant. Quote. There was a lot of uproar in the channel. The miners here are all old fritters. Many people are still agents with official support from various countries. They have worked hard for 11 months, and they are naturally full of confidence. You must know that the rewards of the Rookie King were so huge before, let alone the Super Rookie King. But Mike, a mine owner who just came over from the novice stage and who has dealt with Yi Bai before, reminded. Seniors, don't be careless. Yi Bai has some lucky props in his hands. There are many adventures, and the combat power is also quickly improved. If you are too contemptuous, be careful to suffer big losses. Many foreign mine owners scoffed at his words. Are you afraid that you were scared stupid by him? 35. Mu Lingwei also bubbling and replied. Hee, I can't wait to see your expressions after that. In any case, this announcement sound. It was Yi Bai announcing his arrival to them. In the days that followed, the channel was never quiet. Yi Bai himself didn't have time to pay attention to them, he just played a few small advertisements on the channel. In the future, the mine will sell auspicious lotus pods and blessing lotuses, and those who are interested can discuss in detail. Don't accept money transactions, only accept barter. Many veteran mine owners opened the product introduction with a sneer, and when they saw the effect of the lotus pod and the lotus, their eyes shrank. They are not street goods, but the best spirits with great aura and cleansing the soul. Thinking of the 2 sacred trees in Yi Bai's hands, many mine owners were itching to do business with Yi Bai. In gold mines, a group of people gathered at the pond, teasing the lovely Thumbelina. Many people found that the lotus roots and lotus seeds produced by the upgraded wishing pond have special effects of healing and restoring the spirit, which can be called elixir. More importantly, it can produce daily output. Yi Bai is curious about the special effects of the Trevi fountain. He went to the pond and asked Thumbelina, the master of the place. What is the effect of that prayer and wish? Thumbelina is small, fair-skinned, and looks cute. He also has beautiful blonde hair and a soft voice. But now sitting on the back of the koi, he was shivering with fright. The main reason is that it is too impolite to make money, and I want to play with her. It doesn't even look at it, and to Thumbelina, she is like a beast. Alice and other girls were also aware of the rude actions of attracting wealth, and carefully held her in their hands. Fortune and prosperity, you two can't bully Thumbelina and Koi in the future. They are too weak. Play with you casually, and you may be seriously injured. 35. There is no way to make money, so he ran away to tease other carp. Thumbelina stood on Alice's palm, gently lifted her petal skirt to salute Yi Bai, and whispered, "Honorable Lord, I am Thumbelina from the Lotus Pond. Thank you for taking me in, and I will definitely work hard to repay you in the future. Please don't let those two terrifying monsters scare me again." Yi Bai's ears perked up, only then did he hear her voice clearly. Not much louder than the buzzing of mosquitoes, and soft and very cute. No wonder Alice and the others, like crazy, love Thumbelina so much. Don't worry, I'm here. Prosperity and fortune will not bully you, if they tease you. Report my name, they promise not to move. Yi Bai also likes the little guy. Alice and the others also stepped forward and said, "Yes, you didn't know that Lucky Fortune was just a little lively and not malicious. You can rest assured, cute little princess, if that fat cat or dog comes to provoke you. Silently recite my Yueyu's name in my heart, and I can hear it right away." Under the guarantee of everyone, Thumbelina showed a sweet smile and said, "Wish-making is a newly upgraded function of the Lotus Pond, and I will perform it. The luck of the pond is briefly blessed on the Lord, and it can be maintained for 1 hour a day." Yi Bai understood in seconds. It turned out to be a temporary blessing with luck. But it should be stronger than the effect of 5-leaf clover. Next, Alice and other girls scrambled around Thumbelina for a while, but Thumbelina would not let Thumbelina go back when she wanted to sit on the koi. Zawan also put some honey for her to eat. Thumbelina remains graceful even when she drinks the dew on the lotus leaf and eats honey. Yi Bai looked at her profile jokingly. Thumbelina, the elf that was condensed by the moonlight in the original lotus pond, can be said to be the child of the world in this lotus pond. Very kind and cute. Attack power is 0, and selling cute is the main method. Can sing and dance, make nearby people happy, and get a new mount, colorful koi. Don't look at the little guy's ugly appearance and high status. Yi Bai estimated that if Thumbelina had a problem, the lotus pond would suffer a major earthquake, or even be demoted and destroyed. Several girls are staying in the Trevi fountain. Yi Bai turned his attention to the other released cards. I saw that in the 10 acres of Tai Chi soil, the 2 ends of the original black and white soil. There is a longevity tree resembling a peach tree and a blessing tree resembling a pine tree. They absorb the surrounding nutrients, so that many kinds of plants begin to wither. The 2 divine trees each showed a progress bar, and there was a small flower bud on the branch. It is Jia Shou Dao and Fu Ka. Grandpa Hulu took care of him with a hoe, which was both heartache and helplessness. Mine owner, the 2 new trees you planted are too strong. Take out the nutrients. On the A-level land, 3S-level sacred trees are supported, and the land is not nutritious. Quote. With that said, Grandpa Gord mentioned other upcoming plants, away from the central area. The hazel roots and ancient relics that were brought from the abyss before, are planted with them and can't even live. Yi Bai was also a little distressed. He didn't expect that his own A-grade land would not be enough. The main 3 sacred trees are too ruthless to eat spiritual energy. Fortunately, a layer of golden raindrops floated in the air. Reminder: Grade A fertilizer zinc waste has been sprinkled. The original black and white soil suddenly shone with golden light, and the 3 divine trees were obviously a lot more active, and even other fruits and vegetables became active. However, Yi Bai noticed that the growth rate is still very slow, and it is expected that it will mature under such circumstances. Xiaotao, Fuka, and Golden Longya rice, it is estimated that it will take a month. Others can wait, but Yi Bai can't. Mature in 3 days at most. After all, these 3 major items are strategic items, which are hard to come by in the outside world. Before, I thought that the A-grade land was enough. I didn't expect that not only the nutrition is not enough, but the area is not enough. We can only ask the moles to inquire about the fertile land nearby. Quote, quote. The work on the land was finally over, and Yi-Bai was going to see the construction site. Grandpa Gourd finished watering, holding a seed, hurried over and asked. Mine owner, wait a minute. The seeds you brought back have all been sown alive, no matter where you planted this one, no matter how much water you poured out of the well of the Holy Spirit, it is useless. Quote. The seed in Grandpa Hulu's hand was dark and unremarkable. Yi-Bai vaguely remembered that it seemed to be found in the abyss more than 100 layers deep, or it was brought over by prosperous wealth. Did you win the jackpot? He took it over curiously and checked it with the identification technique. The results were surprising. Mysterious seed, unknown seed from the abyss, type, effect. It is not recommended to eat. Maybe consider asking Thumbelina, who has a deep understanding of all things in nature. Even the identification technique can't see clearly. Yi-Bai is really interested now. You must know that your own divine eye takes into account both perspective and the divine eye of Master Yuantian. I can't see that Thumbelina's hidden talent is so strong, I'll ask. 35. Seeing Yi-Bai crawling into the wishing pond again, Grandpa Hulu shouted. Mine owner, can you get more spiritual water? There is only one holy spring well in the territory, which is not enough. The water in the small river basin, the gods don't look down on it. Man, it's not just the soil that doesn't work, there's not enough water right now. Yi-Bai had a headache for a while, but after his family's great fortune. The problem is also big, and we can only take it slowly. Thumbelina, look at what kind of seed this is, how can it not live? Yi-Bai saw Thumbelina in a flurry of girls. The other is sitting on a lotus leaf. The delicate nose sniffed the smell of the seeds, and then opened her watery eyes to study, and finally came to the conclusion. Lord, this is the seed of the gourd. The old grandpa didn't grow crops just now, probably because he needed too much water. You plant it next to the pavilion in the lotus pond and it will live. Real or fake? Yi-Bai is a little skeptical. Under the urging of Alice and others, he carefully buried the seeds on the edge of the pond and scatters the golden rubbish. Miraculously, the colorful koi swam by at this time, bubbling and spraying a jet of water on the seeds. At the same time, the seeds grow at a speed visible to the naked eye, and a gourd vine bends and extends, and in a blink of an eye, it wraps around the eaves of the small pavilion. The vine has the shape of 7 small flower buds. Congratulations on your successful planting of the mysterious gourd vine, there may be surprises after flowering. Yi-Bai. In the small stone courtyard in the center of the lotus pond, there are 7 flowers on a vine, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Alice and the others didn't feel anything, but Yi-Bai felt a sense of sight. Thumbelina, I will trouble you to take care of them in the future. Thumbelina rode on the koi and agreed. However, Lord, you need to find more fertilizer. This gourd vine needs a lot of nutrients and needs a lot of water every day. The quality required is also high. Quote. She asked the same question as Grandpa Hulu. Yi-Bai noticed that the progress bar on the gourd vine was slower than the ripening of the peach. Sprinkling it with golden rubbish is useless. Yi-Bai murmured in his heart, afraid that he would use S-grade soil. Congratulations on planting many blessing trees in your territory, everyone is lucky +10 permanently. The probability of accidents in daily work is greatly reduced, and the probability of collecting treasures is increased. The physical and mental pleasure is improved, and the happiness index is improved. As the sacred trees were planted, the 9 colored rays of light reflected from the farmland and ponds, and auspicious blessings lingered around. Alice and the others were still with Thumbelina. After Yi-Bai told Grandpa Hulu to take care of the sacred tree. I went to patrol the mining team and the cement team again. The newcomer A Kong is powerful, and after practicing the spiral force, the 597 is even more powerful. With a group of old grandfathers driving the shield machine, it was overwhelming. In a few hours, the 10-kilometer Dragon Mountain range had been cut through. The grandfathers of miners perform their respective duties, or use hooks to fish out gold nuggets, gems, and other special ores from among the rubble. Or drive excavators and bulldozers to help clean up the environment. Along the way, Yi-Bai's ears were constantly reminded. Congratulations to your employee Akong for successfully excavating a large gold mine, and he is leading people to excavate. Your wealth is growing rapidly. There are monsters in the mountains trying to attack the mining team, and Akong is killed. Among them, Yi Bai also found that a silver boss came out to make trouble. Not even the leopard's head was disturbed. It was solved by Akong, and it was a violent mess. And beside them there was a group of kobolds wearing mining hats, helping. The kobold machine can't be controlled, so it can only do some coolies. It just so happens that the mine has also been short of labor recently. Miners, with our current efficiency, I'm afraid we can dig out several tons of gold a day. This is still the main harvest. Some silver, gems and other bits and pieces are not counted. But our action is too big. In addition to disturbing the monster's attack, the most important thing is to provoke the red dragon. At the construction site, Grandpa Martin reminded Yi Bai in time. Yi Bai knows the stress of the world in his heart. If you mine too many treasures yourself, you will definitely be blocked. That red-winged dragon can't be provoked for the time being. Then mine for 2 days first, slow down when those dragonborn monsters appear, and report to me in time. According to the inquiries of the dungeon warriors, the last time the red dragon's lair was stolen, it seemed that he had recruited his subordinates such as the ground dragon and the big lizard. Their presence has already represented some kind of symptom. Mine owner, these machines are amazing. But the energy consumed is also terrifying. Not to mention oil. The magic cores and spirit stones that you have stored in the warehouse will not be enough for a day. Quote. Akong reflects a huge problem. This made Yi Bai quite distressed, and recently both energy and water were in short supply. And when he rushed to another construction site, Grandpa Jack was paving the road with his brothers, which also reflected this. Mine owner, the small spirit stone mines dug from the Shaohei Basin are probably not enough. Maya had previously told the moles to take the time to go to the bottom of the river, and after fishing out 1,000 low-grade spirit stones, the place was completely depleted. If the mine wants to continue to develop, it can only find new oil mines and Lingxi mines. Or get a lot of magic cores. 35. The machine runs cool, and the energy consumption is terrifying. Yi Bai remembered a medium-sized magic crystal mine hidden in the dragon cave. If there is no other way, you can only go and smash the dragon hair of the red dragon. And a legendary dragon fell, leaving behind treasures that should not only be oil, magic crystals, etc. It also contains even greater treasures, but they have not been discovered yet. Let me solve the energy problem. What the mine lacks most at the moment is water, territory, and energy. Rather than fighting the dragon first, I prefer to attack the Jurassic Forest. 35. Yi Bai has always been thinking about that uncultivated land. Grandpa Jack has taken people to repair the road to the banks of the Silver River. Of course, not the mainstream, but a big circle around. Avoid the core area where the dragon crocodile is located. The construction of the road has also extended the tentacles of the mine all the way here. Grandpa Jack looked at the virgin forest on the other side and said with emotion. There's a lot of good stuff out there. The next step is to build bridges. The Bai Yin here is narrow, with only a basket of more than 200 meters, and the river is not in a hurry. The mine owners are discussing building a bridge. Yi Bai suddenly received a secret message. Reminder, Guigu, the berserker mentor you sent, has found a goblin tribe of 500 people along the map. Ghost Valley rode on 100 feet, communicated with the goblin tribe, and learned about their current predicament. The goblins are being besieged by a tribe of over 1,000 ogres for food. Warning, you have triggered the S-level survival mission, Ogre's Spy. Finally, there was a red warning, which made Yi Bai's eyes shrink suddenly. I didn't expect that the props that Wang Kai accidentally picked up were so important. There are also a group of ogres hiding behind them. It's really a wave of upheaval, wave after wave. Yi Bai likes to classify primary and secondary contradictions. According to his division, the battle for Jurassic Forest and the home of dinosaurs will be the main line. There is a natural rivalry between the two. The two sides have not contacted yet, but the overlap of each other's territory is too high. Which side wants to develop and grow, must engulf the other side. As for the crisis of the red-winged dragon and the prehistoric crocodile, it is obviously a secondary contradiction. It is completely possible to slow down the big deal is to avoid them, and to discuss it later when it becomes stronger. But now there is a threat higher than the home of the dinosaurs. Yi Bai didn't dare to neglect, and hurriedly used the contactor to notify Guigu. Guigu, come back immediately and report the information. Be careful not to scare the snake. Unleash kindness with the goblins, everything is waiting for me to make a decision in the past. Quote. Yes, Mayor, those ogres are very powerful, and they are definitely the #1 threat to our Lauren city. The Ghost Valley on the other end obviously realized the seriousness of the problem, and quickly rushed back on 100 feet. Yi Bai also returned to the dungeon to check the mission details. Ogre Spy, S-level difficulty, survival mission. The highest priority is related to the survival of the territory. Task details. Through the plot props provided by Wonkai, Berserker Ghost Valley found a group of goblins in the south of the mine. They are being hunted for food by a group of ogres who came from underground not long ago. In the midst of life and death, the group of ogre tribes from the underground, numbering more than 1,000, was quite powerful. Has a primitive and bloody civilization. If they discover the existence of Lorraine City, and your residents, miners, will surely come to attack and loot food. It's really courting death. This is a monster that is the natural enemy of human beings. 35. Yi Bai's eyes turned cold. Soon, there was a commotion outside the city, and Ghost Valley returned. He walked quickly into the dungeon, and his serious demeanor made his fellow sharpshooter and others discover that things were unusual. And when Guigu reported the brutality and strength of the cannibals in detail, it made everyone in the city frown. That group of ogres have at least one high-level gold leader. Among them, there are more than 20 silver ogres and hundreds of bronze warriors. Tall and ferocious, the battle is extremely brutal. Within 2 days of getting out of the ground, the nest of goblins went from 2,000 to 500. Had we been a little later, we might have found only a bunch of goblin bones. Even if it is not discovered in time, the employees who go out to mine will be caught by the ogres alone, and the consequences will be disastrous. 35. Guigu's indignant report, and said that they should take the initiative to attack and completely destroy them. On the bright side, this group of ogre tribes surpasses us in both strength and numbers. Alice frowned and said, including the group of kobolds and pets, we are at most comparable to them at the middle silver level. I'm the only one in the gold class, and I've just been promoted. The other hundreds of bronze ogres were also a force that was difficult to resist. At present, the gold mine is full, and even 500 people are not enough. In particular, the core personnel are divided into 2 factions, gold miners and dungeon warriors. And the centrist leopard head, Akong, Zawan and others. Counting Bezu, Pangolins, and Dabai, there are not even 100 people. Piranha cannot move around, it is the last line of defense to guard the family. The more than 100 moles outsourced holes are fine, if they are fighting, I'm afraid they are not going to deliver vegetables. The more than 100 kobolds under Alice's command were all right in hard labor and in tailwind battles. But in the face of the explosive ogre, I am afraid that it is not bad to be able to exert half of the combat power. After all, Yi Bai can't help that nest of ogres. S-level difficulty. I'm afraid it's not just a gold level, maybe there are some hidden monsters. Yi Bai sat on the chair of the city lord, tapping his fingers, the ticking sound echoed in the hall. Hall below, Guigu, Yuyu and others strongly suggested sending troops to exterminate and save the goblins. Alice hesitated, mainly for fear of heavy casualties. Finally, Yi Bai looked at the total wealth that had grown to more than 500,000, and decided in one sentence. The ogres must be killed, and without delay. I can't tolerate them eating the surrounding monsters, and their strength continues to grow. And we still have a first mover advantage. If we delay, let them find us, and the loss will be even greater. Quote. As soon as these words came out, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Once the general policy is set, everything is easy to handle, and it's over. Moreover, it is impossible for ogres to coexist with gold mines, they are born dead enemies. Will there be a war this afternoon? Ogre at night, the attribute can get the maximum bonus. My holy light can suppress the ogres quite a bit, and if it is in the lair, the effect is even better. The blonde royal sister Anne asked. She is not good at fighting, but a priest, offering aid, healing, etc. In the morning, He also brought his female apprentice to add buffs to the miners' grandfathers. What the two priests liked most was the statue of Lilia enshrined in the city lord's mansion. How to deal with hundreds of bronze-level ogres. They are 3 or 4 meters tall and powerful. Bronze creatures of the same level would shudder when they saw them. Alice is always worried about the grassroots warriors. One of her kobolds is not willing to die, let alone the core staff. I heard from the goblins that ogres are all warriors. After getting rid of hundreds of bronze ogres, the remaining 500 or so were probably fierce monsters. If you really want to fight for life and death, you must also count their share of combat power. Quote, although Guigu is belligerent, his reason is very clear. To deal with the ogres, the goblin tribe must also help. As for those basic troops, here are a few tricks for group attack, combined with Annie's holy light. Get the first move, can half abolish the ogre warrior. The most important thing to worry about is the boss monster. If there are variables in it, that can turn the situation around in an instant. Quote, Yi Bai still has confidence in his heart. After he has been promoted to silver, it is not a trick to suppress the bottom of the box. With the regular combat power, the light giant form can be multiplied tenfold, suppressing the golden boss. He is more worried about the casualties during the battle. After all, one of the core employees of the family is reluctant to die. Even if the ordinary kobold and the ogre were exchanged for one, Yi Bai felt blood loss. We must first reunite with the goblins and command all available power to annihilate the ogres in one fell swoop. Otherwise, a bad one, it will be a life and death crisis in Loran Dungeon. After a long discussion, the crowd. After deciding to have lunch, the whole army will attack the southern rain forest. Even bring 100 ogre flowers to ensure that not one ogre can escape. At this time, in the middle of the day, the employees who had worked hard all morning entered the underground city to have a feast. Considering the battle in the afternoon, Yi Bai asked Zwan to take the ore of food that had been stored before. It is the Kirin watermelon that is freshly picked from the field, and all of them are taken out and enjoyed. Make the miners smile. Your generosity is amazing. All employees use Reiki food to quickly recover their mental and physical strength, and their average state increases by 5%. Purple Cuckoo, go get some frozen meat and feed the cannibals, and give them a feast today. Yi Bai logged into the chat channel while eating. After my own ranking reached 98. In the channel seems to be the number one person. However, the higher the ranking of the mines, the greater the difference in the evaluation value. Basically, the top 100 have their own dungeons, and the top 10 have troops of no less than 1,000 people. The daily mine supplies are astronomical. They not only rely on themselves, but most of them have established companies to go public. Sell shares and get official and super consortium assistance. From manpower to material resources, blood was transfused. Of course the price paid is not small. Yi Bai struggled by himself, of course it would be slower. By the way, have you noticed that there are more monsters around? I have a bunch of underground goblins here, and they've been making trouble lately and stealing my food. I plan to send troops to conquer. I hope the goblins are not so poor that they don't even have enough military expenses. You stupid, goblins are notoriously poor. To fight goblins and dwarves, they have money. When the slaves are more than 100, if you find a nest of dwarves and can condense cards, it will be even more rich. Maybe it's because the newcomer Yi Bai started a new plot. I also have a group of demon worms. While tough, they are an excellent material on their own. From time to time, I find gems in the nest, and the explosion rate is higher than before. Coincidentally, other people also encountered underground monsters one after another. One of the more unlucky mine owners, in the process of mining, also found a group of ghosts. Conventional physical methods are ineffective, and they can only be cast into a giant tomb with massive amounts of gold and locked up again. This made the mine owner who suffered heavy losses said angrily, "Mining is risky, reconnaissance needs to be cautious. If you don't get the money, you will post half a ton of gold and go out." But the most astonishing thing is a mine owner from the Kingdom of the Never Set Sun ranked 176. Announcement. Black Rock mine owner Sam successfully discovered the SS-level underground relic, Vampire Castle Group, and has now been excavated in depth. Sam laughed on the channel. "My friends, I am the first to win. This castle contains a rare metal mithril. It is more than 10,000 kilograms of silver to condense 1 kilogram of mithril. Special attack on extraordinary creatures. And the mithril content here exceeds 1,000 kilograms. If I attack this place, I can become the top 50 big mine owners. Everyone is waiting for my good news. When I go back, the Queen will give me an award. Quote, quote. The news that Sam leaked is really shocking. Mithril, fine gold, and oregano are strategic treasures that are as famous as spirit stones and magic crystals. How much you dig, how much the country buys. Among them, mithril needs 10,000 kilograms of silver to be extracted, fine gold needs 10,000 kilograms of gold to be extracted, and mountain copper is naturally extracted from copper. From high to bottom, the price is naturally pure gold, mithril, and oregano. So the people shouted, Sam is rich, but be careful not to beat the boss. 35. I suggest you sell the coordinates of this underground relic to you, the official, or the super consortium. Although the price is much cheaper, the advantage is safety, and you don't have to dig it yourself. Sam's strength is not weak, and he seeks wealth and wealth at risk. If you sell it to someone else, it is not bad to give him 50 million star coins, but it is not enough for 1/10,000th of the risky income. There are various opinions, and Sam has led people to smash the SS level map. Yi Bai is also very curious about this. But what everyone didn't expect was that they didn't even last 5 minutes. A piece of bad news came. Screaming announcement. The entire army led by Black Rock mine owner Sam was annihilated. Senior Platinum boss Vampire Baron sucked Sam's blood and made him a slave. The dove occupies the magpie's nest and is occupying the Black Rock mine, and all the gold, wealth, and employees belong to the Baron. And the 176 names on the list suddenly blacked out, and their names began to disappear quickly. Everyone knows what it means. Friendly reminder. Wealth and risk coexist. Please mine owners rationally take risks to dig treasures. Go through the ruins depending on your personal strength. This cry poured down on everyone's heads like ice water. Heartbroken, many people showed the sadness of the death of a rabbit and a fox. Yi Bai is also a little sighed. Soldiers, there are important events that must not be overlooked. The lion beats the rabbit, and also uses all his strength. What's more, the ogre tribe is stronger than the mine. Yi Bai didn't even bother to eat, so he fooled the couple and ran back to the city lord's mansion to practice. He sat cross-legged on the bed and took out the secret book of the golden body of Zongliu from the space. Study. As the secret book turned into golden light and disappeared, Yi Bai had a supernatural power of refining the body in his mind. It is full of precious things such as gold, silver, and even gems. The essence of gold is extracted from it, which strengthens the physical body and builds one's own legal body. It's another kryptonite skill. No matter how much money you earn, it's not enough. I hope that the ogre will live up to its expectations and explode more baby. Quote. Yi Bai now hopes that the goblin tribe can dig more treasures. Still, ogres are not fools. There are so many babies that have been stolen. He sank, quickly took out pieces of gold, and began to temper the golden body. With the rapid disappearance of the gold in his hand, his wealth value plummeted. A wisp of golden light enveloped Yi Bai. At the same time, behind him, a giant of light appeared faintly. Since the evolution, the giant of light has also become taller, from the original 20 meters to 25 meters. And now as Yi Bai draws the energy of metal, gradually, the originally pure white giant of light began to be gilded. Like a golden lacquer Buddha, Yi Bai's real body also faintly revealed a golden light, with a hint of immortality. Cultivation will be addictive, especially when I can feel the strong feedback. The golden bricks in Yi Bai's hands appear one by one. In the blink of an eye, it was turned into gold powder and absorbed by his body. I am practicing the golden body of Zongliu. 100,000 gold has been consumed, and your golden body has begun to take shape. Another 200,000 gold is consumed, and your golden body has an extra layer of gold paint. Self-quality plus 2 times, defense plus 2 times, please make persistent efforts and continue to Krypton gold. With the disappearance of massive wealth, Yi Bai became golden. The golden light has been cast from the city lord's mansion. Alice senses the rapid disappearance of wealth. I ran over and looked a little dumbfounded. His elder brother is like a golden lacquer Buddha, which is extremely dazzling. The whole body exudes the light of local tyrant gold, especially the illusion of the giant of light behind it. At this time, it has turned into a complete golden paint giant. Its texture and prestige are not the same as before. Yi Bai is addicted to cultivation, unable to extricate himself and take out pieces of gold and silver from the space to practice. As the introduction of Zongliu golden body said, I Buddha never cross poverty. This supernatural power is very powerful, the cultivation is simple, and there is no threshold. Kryptonite is over. It's cool for a while, and it's always cool. And as you practice, unconsciously, the golden lacquer giant behind Yi Bai was influenced by the supernatural powers, and sat in a cross-legged posture, pointing one finger to the sky and the other to the ground. Brother, stop cultivating for now. You've already consumed several tons of gold, so you need to keep some gold reserves. When Alice anxiously woke up Yi Bai, he woke up from the practice. Open your eyes, full of golden light. Look back again, see the truth and be merciful. Yi Bai's eyes shrank, and he felt that his golden body had a different appearance. Isn't this the Ultraman Buddha I've seen online before? His face was full of confusion. Wouldn't the final form of the glittering fruit be it? Yi Bai had black lines all over his head and was a little unacceptable. At this time, he noticed how much gold he had saved, and the effect of the gold body's increase. Originally, through the hard work of Ah Kong and the others, and the powerful shield machine, the total wealth reached more than 500,000. But it's now down to 400,000. It can almost be said to be a low insurance line. By consuming 100 tons of gold in total, you have cultivated the golden body of Zongliu to a small degree. Its own defense and quality have increased tenfold. Hearing this number, Yi Bai felt a pain in the flesh. I finally knew what the governor's expression meant at that time. Forget it, I'll go to the experiment later and find out if it's worth the money. Yi Bai comforted himself in his heart. Alice, it looks like we'll have to make more money in the future. Alice quipped, but there aren't many treasures like last time in the canyon. If it goes on like this, the giant Dragon Mountain range will be completely excavated, and it can only develop into the Jurassic Forest. Don't be afraid, the most important thing in the underground world is baby. In the future, let Wang Kai find more treasures, and now, aren't you going to rob the ogre tribe? Quote, quote. The two walked out of the city lord's mansion while talking. Others are almost ready, except for a few people, such as Grandpa Gord, Griffin, Zawan and other life-related people who stayed behind in the dungeon. The others, including Golden Brothers, Kobolds, and Piranhas, were all ready and eager to try. Yi Bai glanced at the soldiers under his command. Among them, Grandpa Jack, the four mentors, A Kong, and Beizu were all outstanding among the silver. That is, the basic bronze warriors are relatively lacking, and temporarily we have to rely on kobolds to make up the numbers. When the dungeon is upgraded in the future, the warriors should be able to fill this vacancy. Just when Yi Bai was planning to ride on 100 feet and led his troops into the army, Maya on the side suddenly stood up to remind. Brother, after we leave, only Sister Zawan and the others are left. I'm afraid they won't be able to hold back the iron lump. Maya pointed to the corner of the mine. It was a detained silver beast with a silver body all over it. Because things were so busy these days, Yi Bai was negligent and forgot all about it. This guy hasn't been convinced recently. Yi Bai's patience gradually disappeared. Today's fight is the enemy of life and death. Seeing the murderous aura in Yi Bai's eyes, Maya quickly explained. Brother, don't be angry yet, it's just that his temper hasn't turned around yet, and his mind is not bad. Yi Bai didn't talk nonsense, and walked quickly towards the bound silver beast. He stretched out a palm and forcibly pressed it on its head. The high-level overlord domineering arrogance completely shrouded it, and at the same time, it stimulated the fruit ability in the newly formed Zongliu golden body. A palm completely turned golden color, pressed on the head of the silver beast, and there was a force that shook the sky and the earth. The silver beast was so frightened that it trembled, and when he felt this palm down, his proud head would collapse. Death or surrender, I have no time to fight you. Either become a pile of silver, or be my mount. Pick one yourself. Yi Bai's words are cold. Maya, who was on the side, came out to smooth things out and muttered to the silver beast for a while. She is good at communicating all things, and she also pulls out the temptation of Platinum Star. Finally, the proud alien slowly knelt down. Congratulations on successfully conquering the alien silver beast. This result is gratifying, and at a critical juncture, it has more combat power. The body of the silver beast is like a tiger and leopard, but the whole body is made of silver, which is very strong and unusual. Yi Bai patted its head. The silver beast knelt down knowingly and made Yi Bai sit on it. Beizu on the side hummed unhappily when he saw that his position had been robbed. I thought I would use this tool. One of the ropes in Yi Bai's hands was retracted, and it was the rope of the god of love that was rewarded by the world. The blessing rope of the god of love. Put it around the neck, and it can conquer a pet. But you have to let it get caught, and at the same time have a certain ability to suppress the opponent. Otherwise, the pet's loyalty will be reduced and it will be easy to escape. Quote, talk is better than nothing. Yi Bai plans to play with dinosaurs in 2 days. After all, they are powerful, and they are good at work. At present, Yi Bai also has 4 mounts, the silver-scaled pangolin, the 100-footed demon king, the silver beast, and the mud giant Dabai. Among them, Beizu was the strongest for the time being and carried the most people, and Piranha also carried it on its back. Other kobolds were transported by gold miners in dump trucks. Prosperity and Fortune also jump happily on the back of the silver beast. He waved his hand. The whole army is attacking. The goal is to save the goblin tribe and eradicate the ogres. 35. Recast the glory of the dungeon. Guided by the Ghost Valley, the large army quickly moved towards the goblin tribe. Along the way, they discussed countermeasures, usually during the day. Ogres are in a very bad state, their attributes will drop a lot, and they usually hide in their lair to rest. Come out to hunt at night. And this time, they plan to kill them before night. Among them, the priest Annie and her apprentice Gong Ru wanted to provide holy light assistance to help Yi Bai's initial overlord to clear the field. Here, haven't you eaten enough recently? There is nothing else in my mine, and there is still a lot of silver in the ground. 35. On the way, Yi Bai poured the silver that he had stored earlier into the silver beast to eat. Because the market price of silver is much cheaper than that of gold, there is a lot of storage in warehouses. The silver beast has been hungry for 2 or 3 days, and now it has an unlimited supply of silver, but it happily opens its mouth and swallows it. Yi Bai also saw the power of the alien species, and along the way, the trumpet continued. Congratulations to your pet silver beast devouring massive amounts of silver and successfully evolving to intermediate silver. The silver beast devoured 100,000 silver and has evolved to high-grade silver. In the end, it didn't stop until the top silver. It took about 40 minutes to travel, and gradually moved away from the territory. There are no monsters on the road that do not have long eyes to provoke them. Yi Bai gradually reached a place with high humidity. Slightly different from the Jurassic forest, a rainforest full of mosquitoes. Guigu explained. The environment here is harsh, there are some poisonous insects hidden in the jungle, everyone be careful. Don't be afraid, I have my deworming technique. The apprentice Gong Ru picked up the staff, and a burst of holy light burst out, dispelling many poisonous insects. But Alice on the other side is obviously stronger, she flaps the red dragon wings. A dragon's might permeates the air, and the beasts in the jungle are frightened, and many monsters escape. Ghost Valley lead the way. Yi Bai released a little bit of domineering arrogance. The flies did not add themselves, and no monsters dared to test it. When I got here, the happiest thing was the group of piranhas. They emit a fragrant dragon fragrance, attracting monsters to throw themselves into their nets, opening their mouths for a while to prey. Occasionally, a few upgrade halos flashed, indicating that they have evolved again. As the crowd gradually deepened into the dense forest, the surrounding land was very difficult to walk. It has become a swamp area covered with fallen leaves, and the most important thing is that dump trucks and mine carts are not easy to drive. Warning: you have gone deep into the A-level map, Yama Great Rainforest. The climate here is unusual and the area is very wide. There are many monsters lurking, not a simple map. The deeper you go, the more difficult it will be. Please pay attention to the monsters hidden in swamps and rotten leaves. Yi Bai raised his brows, but not much changed. Instead, he raised his hand and ordered the large army to stop first. The minor grandpas took their weapons and got out of the car with the kobolds. The next part of the road is walking. At the same time, the piranhas are defending on the perimeter. Quote, 5 cars were parked in the corner of a big tree, and the kobolds came down with spears in an orderly manner. The equipment of the miners is obviously better than them, with a lucky red rope and a detonator. These are standard equipment that Yi-Bai purchased from Blue Star, which is simple and easy to use. Next, led by the Ghost Valley, Piranha as the pioneer, began to go deep into the rainforest. The piranhas seemed to be very compatible with the nearby ecology, and they opened their mouths and began to prey. Enjoy eating, and with their existence, there is no monster harassment along the way. There was also a top silver green iguana who wanted to attack a kobold, and was suffocated by the piranha leader. The violent anomaly caused everyone to look sideways frequently. Fortunately, this group of piranhas belonged to us, otherwise, if we dealt with it, I don't know how many people would die. The well-informed sharpshooter Fang Hao said with emotion. However, as you go deeper into the rainforest, not only does the surrounding become wet, the skin is also uncomfortable, and swarms of mosquitoes are flying in densely. If it weren't for the Overlord Color and Longway, it is estimated that they would have been sucked half of their blood before they could get there. In addition, the soil under the feet is moist, many of which are muddy mud piled up by rotten leaves, and a small part of it falls down with one step. Yi-Bai could almost see everyone's status dropping frequently, and he was quite emotional for a while. No wonder there were non-combat casualties in previous wars. Fortunately, the place where the goblin lived was not very deep, but was underground in the hollow of a towering tree in the dense forest. Guigu stepped forward quickly and shouted towards the tree hole. Goblin Chief, my city lord brought reinforcements, come out quickly. The crowd waited for several minutes outside the tree hole before a rustling sound came from inside. I saw an old, blue-skinned goblin chief with a tree staff in his hand, with more than 20 hobgoblins, also silver-level goblins, slowly drilling out. The hobgoblins wore armors made of mithril and held adamantine weapons, and looked around Yi-Bai and the others vigilantly. Yi-Bai's eyes lit up from the very first moment when the goblins appeared, knowing that this time it was the right time. Don't waste your time leading a large army to come here. Looking at the equipment on them, you can imagine how many treasures are hidden in this group of little guys who are good at digging holes. And this is after being robbed by ogres several times. Reminder. You have found a tribe of traumatized rainforest goblins. They are industrious, hardworking, intelligent, but they are now in crisis of genocide. On the other side of the mountain and the other side of the sea, there is a group of goblins. They are lively and smart. They are almost eaten up by a group of ogres. Reminder. You found the S-level monster card, Rainforest Goblin Tribe, Young. At present, it has strength, a low-level gold-level goblin chief, 25 silver goblins, more than 200 bronze goblins, and several small goblins. Each of its goblins is a natural digging expert, and it is highly recommended to collect it as an adult who is a rarer scientific and technological talent. Note, it was originally an S+ grade card, but it was recently eaten by more than 1,500 clansmen, so it was downgraded. The harvest of this trip is far greater than Yi-Bai imagined. This old goblin chief is actually a gold rank. But with such strength, it was eaten by those ogres and was about to be wiped out. Yi-Bai realized that he had underestimated the strength of the ogre, and at the same time, after seeing the strength of their group, the hobgoblins showed undisguised disappointment in their eyes. It's over, human beings are really unreliable. The goblin chief's cloudy eyes swept the surroundings, and paused slightly when he looked at Alice. Then he sighed sadly. Brave adventurers, I'm afraid you can't protect yourself. Let alone help us. If you are discovered by those demons, your meat will not be enough for them to eat for a day. Better run away as soon as possible. Quote, our tribe is about to be disbanded, and the ethnic group is scattered and fled, maybe there is more hope. The group of hobgoblins looked at the kobold with undisguised disappointment. Just these soldiers, not as good as them. The chief still doesn't know our strength, why is he so sad? How do you know that I, Loran City, only have these superficial strengths? Yi-Bai rode the silver beast forward, and slightly used the Underlord color to suppress the goblins. At the same time, the identification technique quickly gave their information. Goblin Chief, low-level gold creatures, originally high-level gold. Too old to be relegated. At the same time, he is not good at fighting, but a talent of the wisdom department. He was seriously injured in the conflict with the ogre not long ago, and can be judged as a semi-gold creature, which can be blocked by a tough top silver. Hobgoblin, the hero among the goblins, the silver-level creature. Basically 1 out of 100 goblins appears. Some are good at fighting, some are good at digging. 35. When suppressed by the overlord, the goblin chiefs were horrified, as if they were facing a giant dragon. It's like seeing that brutal two-headed ogre again. The eyes they looked at Yi Bai changed instantly. A glimmer of hope flashed in the eyes of the goblin chief, and he said tremblingly, "If you are really strong and powerful, with the help of this honorable Miss Dragonvein Warlock, maybe if we join forces, there is still a chance." The goblin chief bent towards Yi Bai and Alice. "Please forgive my ignorance just now, and sincerely invite you and your wife to join the tribe for a detailed chat." Alice's face was slightly red, and she explained carefully. But seeing that Yi Bai didn't respond, he had already dismounted and walked into the tree hole, so he didn't say anything. Several mounts stayed outside to guard. Yi Bai led the people to bend down and enter the tree hole. The goblin's passage is only 1 meter high, and a group of people walks by bending over for a while. After passing through the winding corridors, they finally reached a cave. The glowing luminous pearls and diamonds on the burrow act as the source of light, making people feel that the goblins are rich. Occasionally scattered gold and silver on the ground were abandoned, and even the fire did not burn. When the goblins gathered around heard the movement, they hugged in fear, a typical stress response. Yi Bai looked around, and then saw the goblin soldiers' sophisticated equipment, and asked in a puzzled way, "Your strength is not bad, coupled with explosives. You shouldn't lose so badly. Are those ogres so powerful?" The goblin chief explained, "The demons from the underground are not only huge in number. Each clan is a natural warrior, and will also become mad to temporarily increase their strength. Even more terrifying is its leader and sacrifice. There is a top gold double-headed ogre priest, a high-level gold ogre leader, and an intermediate gold ogre warrior. In addition to dozens of powerful silver-level ogres, when they first came into contact with them. Our people were captured by the ogre's momentum, so terrified that they were defeated in the end. Not only was the territory taken, but the plants were destroyed. Even 3/4 of our clan were kidnapped for food. I have redeemed it with the wealth that the tribe has stored for 100 years, and they are still not satisfied." Speaking of which, a group of goblins sobbed inside the cave. Yi Bai could also guess the situation of the goblins. The strength of the ogre tribe was 3 times stronger than previously thought. This result was very heavy. Yi Bai gets straight to the point. "We are here to save you. Looking at your equipment, it is obvious that you have some weapons hidden. Can it be offered to our warriors? Those fine gold weapons and mithril armors are sky high in the outside world. In the goblin, it seems to be standard." The hobgoblin wanted to say something, but the goblin chief stopped him and agreed. "As long as we can help you, we are willing to provide." It was only 3.5 hours before it got dark. The only way to get started is now. We currently have a total of 23 hobgoblins and 300 goblin warriors. With your followers, the strength is similar to that of an ogre. But what worries me most is the upper-level combat power. The double-headed ogre was extremely terrifying, not to mention that there were 2 ogre warriors who specialized in melee combat to protect it. Yi Bai waved his hand confidently. "Since I dare to go all the way here to exterminate the ogre tribe, I naturally have absolute certainty. I'm just worried that there are too many casualties. By the way, you said just now that the wealth was taken away by the ogres, is there any leftover? Especially gold, a secret technique that I cultivate requires a lot of gold. The goblins may also feel that they are about to be exterminated. It is useless to hide some things." The goblin chief led Yi Bai to the depths of the ground, opened a hidden rock door, and sighed. "Dear human city lord, this is the last reserve of our rainforest goblins. It was originally intended to be kept for running. Now it's all to you and the other warriors, as long as you take down the ogre horde for us. Then the rainforest goblins will be your most loyal residents in the future." The chief looked very open, mainly because his strength was too weak. And when the rock door was opened, what caught Yi Bai's eyes was golden light, and both eyes flashed like titanium alloys. "Ding dong, Goblin Chief gives your last clan storage for free, including 200 tons of gold, 300 tons of silver. Strategic resources, 500 gins of fine gold, 500 gins of mithril, 526 gems of all kinds, a heart of Airchow mountain range. Many ethnic technical blueprints, many secret drilling tools. Atmospheric, absolutely atmospheric, the goblin chief sighed and said. These are still hidden, and more resources have been taken away by the ogres. Lord, if you really like gold. What the ogres have there is that they also have a gold rush river in their hands that can be turned into S-rank cards, and they can rush in gold sand every day. And there are definitely many other babies. It's not too late, I'll practice now. Chief, CJBF, and Alice went to discuss the attack line for the next meeting, and I was on the sidelines. Quote. Seeing so much gold, Yi Bai wanted to sharpen his spear. Moreover, although the consumption of the golden body of Zongliu is high, the commission of strength is unquestionable. Moreover, Yi Bai can have a golden body in advance, so he is not afraid of the suppression of the domain by the upper creatures. This alone is extremely important. Inside the cave, the goblins freely presented pieces of mithril armor and adamantine weapons to grandpa miners and dungeon warriors. Even some of the standard equipment they eliminated were even better than what Yi Bai purchased from Blue Star. Even the kobolds' equipment has been replaced by shotguns for cannons. The combat power has risen significantly. Others discuss the crusade with the goblins. Yi Bai held the gold nugget in one hand and listened to the meeting in the other. Among the treasures, the heart of the Airchow mountain range solved Yi Bai's urgent needs, and he could upgrade the mine after returning. One step closer to the dungeon upgrade. At the same time, with practice, a golden progress bar appeared on Yi Bai's head. The gold nugget in his hand quickly turned into gold powder and disappeared. Yi Bai's body became golden, and the vision of the golden lacquer giant looming behind him made the goblins pale. This human is not a descendant of the Titans, is it? It's just a silver creature, but it gives me more strength than a two-headed ogre. The goblin chief murmured in his heart, feeling more confident in the fight of the meeting. Because of the urgency of the situation, not to mention the resources of prostitution, Yi Bai cultivated extremely fast. As the gold accumulated in the warehouse gradually became scarce, the progress bar gradually began to fill up. His aura was getting stronger and stronger. Sure enough, robbery is the fastest way to complete primitive accumulation. Don't let me down, the ogres later. It's always been fun. I'm cultivating the golden body of Zongliu. I'm in Krypton gold. By consuming a total of 200 tons of gold, you have cultivated the golden body of Zongliu to the level of perfection, and your own defense and quality have increased 20 times. 10 minutes later, the gold in the treasury was gone. The goblins who saw it were distressed for a while, and in their place was Yi Bai's completely golden body, as well as his golden body. When he reopened his eyes, there were even 2 golden lights that could not be concealed. Yi Bai stood up proudly. Go, it's time to meet those ogres. Give me the 3 golden bosses. Alice, Goblin Chief, you deal with those silver ogres. In this battle, what we pursue is not only annihilation, but also the lowest possible casualties. In Yi Bai's heart, one of his core members cannot die, each of them is an irreplaceable talent. Hearing Yi Bai's decision, Alice and the Goblin Chief were shocked and persuaded. The 3 ogre leaders are no trivial matter, and they can match tactics with each other. One is a meat shield, one is a warrior, and the other is a magician. The strength of that 2-headed ogre is extremely terrifying. Don't worry, I'm mentally aware. And there is also a trick to press the bottom of the box. When we arrive at the ogre burrow, I will go ahead and make a sneak attack. Then the 2 priests will release the holy light, and you are killing them. Yi Bai confidently led the crowd out of the tree hole, and the goblins knew that this battle was their only hope. Coupled with the killing of many clansmen, all of them were excited and waved their weapons to seek revenge. Reminder: your ally Rainforest Goblin Tribe triggers Bloody Battle State, temporary state plus 30%. The Goblin Tribe and Yi Bai's team also gathered enough 800 elites. A group of men aggressively touched the Ogre Tribe. According to the information of the goblins, the ogres dug a cave in a cliff. The terrain is easy to defend and difficult to attack, and it faces the sun. Arguably the most suitable environment for them. And after a while, Yi Bai's eyes had already seen the Devil's Cave. Outside the magic cave, there are many bones. In addition to the massive goblin bones, there are many human bones. Serious warning: You have penetrated deep into the ogre territory and triggered the S-level survival battle. Battle for survival. The newly built city of Loran encountered the biggest challenge, and a group of ogres with thousands of people lurked around. Only one of the two can live. Such a brief description declares that this war is inevitable. Yi Bai's face was cold, and he raised his hand to stop everyone. At the same time, he turned into a black shadow and suddenly burst into the Devil's Cave. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the wet rainforest was obviously dark, and a shadow rushed into the bones outside the magic cave. The ogre guards patrolling the door thought he was dazzled. Before he could react, Yi Bai had already penetrated into the Devil's Cave. He is also a high-level artist and a daring person, big, and one person goes straight to the ground. Warning: you have entered the ogre's cave, extremely dangerous. According to the judgment of seeing and seeing, Yi Bai quickly walked through the magic cave. The stench here was unbearable, but the dark environment didn't bother Yi Bai. In less than 3 seconds, he had already passed through the 100-meter tunnel and reached the depths of the Devil's Cave. Hundreds of ogres were lying on the ground. There are still bones and flesh and blood left over from eating, and the primitive and barbaric atmosphere is blowing. Overlord is domineering. Transform into a giant of light, with a golden body of 6 feet. Yi Bai broke into it, suddenly exerting all his strength. I saw in the darkness, a golden-painted giant with a height of more than 20 meters appeared. The tenfold strengthening of the Overlord domineering aura suddenly pressed against the sleeping ogre. Many ogre warriors with poor spirits died of heart palpitations on the spot. Even if other people escape the catastrophe, their attributes will obviously drop by half, which is greatly affected. Enemy attack! Enemy attack! There was an instant uproar in the magic cave, and the guards of the corridor reacted. The ogre on the ground got up with a nosebleed, trying to find a weapon to fight back. The silver ogres at the core also started looking for enemies, and more importantly, in the deepest part, 3 golden ogres with a height of 6 or 7 meters also woke up and roared. Wan Ren Holy Light Sword. Galaxy Star Burst. The golden giant that Yi Bai transformed into was so dazzling, the surrounding ogres came to besiege with big sticks. But Yi Bai was much faster than them. I saw his right hand stretched out a sword light with uncertain light and darkness, and the lightsaber instantly turned into thousands of aurora, shooting everywhere in the cave. Like 1,000 swords piercing the heart, he slayed all the ogres. More importantly, the lightsaber is not only extremely fast, but also has a tricky angle. Specially stab at the fortress such as the head and heart of the ogre. This is the benefit of Yi Bai's strong spiritual power, and the monsters he attacked. Mainly the silver ogres of the backbone. This time, dozens of ogre warriors screamed, and they were not dead or seriously injured. Before the 2-headed ogre was shocked, Yi Bai pointed his left hand away. I saw in the center of the mountain of ogres, a starburst pole exploded with a bang. The intense light and heat caused the group of ogres to mourn, and their limbs and arms were blown away. Galaxy Starburst is a group attack stunt, and it is in the environment of the burrow. The power is doubled. Yi Bai deliberately threw this move at the basic bronze level ogre, and the damage caused by it was also amazing. It hasn't even been 5 seconds since he came on stage. But half abandoned the ogre elite. The 3 angry ogre leaders roared again and again. It's a human. That giant is a human transformed. You are courting death. The middle-level golden ogre warrior armed with a battle axe and a shield charged at Yi Bai with red eyes. The ogre chief held a bone sledgehammer made from the bones of an unknown creature, and smashed towards Yi Bai in a frenzied manner. The most terrifying thing is the double-headed ogre, not only the top gold. It is a mutant among the ogres, with double the spiritual power. A head chants quickly, cursing Yi Bai. One head read the spell, raised the human bone scepter, and increased the ogre chieftain and ogre warrior. Makes their 2 attributes suddenly rise a lot. The existence of the 2-headed ogre is more terrifying than the 4 ogre chiefs. Congratulations on your successful sneak attack. Your domineering arrogance kills X253 bronze level ogres in 1 second, kills X2 silver level ogres, and seriously wounds X32 silver level ogres. Your sneak attack has completely angered the ogre tribe, and the 3 ogre leaders are furious and will never die. Your lightsaber and galaxy starburst can kill a total of X325 bronze ogre and X20 silver ogre. Yi Bai's sneak attack on the field was excellent, and the overlord color combined with the Milky Way star to clear the field, which was a lure for the mobs. But at the top are the three big bosses. In Yi Bai's identification technique, the attributes of the ogre leader were all in sight, and the one that made him the most dreaded was the double-headed ogre. As it cast the spell, layers of black energy filled Yi Bai's real body. But with a flash of fortune on his body, the golden light on the surface of his body collapsed, instantly smashing the opponent's curse. Your fortune is monstrous, you are blessed and guarded by 4 auspicious beasts, and your golden body is invincible. Perfectly defend against the curse of the two-headed ogre, and start to fight back. The two-headed ogre not far away failed to cast a spell, and the head suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Another head hurriedly asked, "What's wrong with my brother? Can you still recite the spell?" The wounded head wailed and replied, "That man is not right, he is insane. You can't directly curse him, increase the chief, and attack with magic." Yi Bai was a little strange in his heart, how the blessing of an auspicious beast was added. But now is not the time to think about it. The ogre warrior who rushed up first was approaching, and he cast madness. Wearing a shield, he pressed down on Yi Bai like a heavy tank. Compared to ordinary creatures, the 7-meter ogre warrior is terrifying. But for Yi Bai, who is now more than 20 meters away, he just lifted his right foot slightly and smashed it towards the opponent as if he were kicking a ball. Block. Just like an arhat ringing a bell, the shield that looked like a city wall was directly smashed. The ogre warrior screamed, broke his hands, and rolled back like a ball. The 20-fold strengthened golden body of Zongliu did not disappoint Yi Bai, and the effect was remarkable. The face of the stronger ogre chief changed, and the ancient soul of the ogre appeared on his body, coupled with the strong blessing of the double-headed ogre. A sudden increase in speed. At the same time, the blue veins in both arms burst out, and the hand held the bone sledgehammer. Angrily, he jumped up and smashed heavily on Yi Bai's chest and abdomen. Death to me. When Yi Bai was about to use his golden body to resist this move, unexpectedly, a picture flashed in my mind. It turned out to be the scene where he was broken by the white bone hammer, retreated again and again, and vomited blood. This weapon has an odd, possibly diamond-level skeleton. Yi Bai's heart was alarmed, and he sighed that he shouldn't be too big. The next moment, his eyes suddenly shot out 2 laser beams. These 2 rays of light are not very powerful, they can kill the top silver. But for the ogre chieftain, it's just a nuisance. He quickly held the hammer in front of him, perfectly resisting this move. But after all, the offensive was a step slower. Yi Bai swung the 1,000-meter holy lightsaber with his right hand and suddenly slashed at the ogre. He pressed people with power, with a golden body more than 20 meters high, and wielding a lightsaber of 15 meters. Like a swatter, it pressed on the ogre leader. The ogre leader is in the air, with nowhere to turn. Hastily raised the bone sledgehammer to resist. I only feel that my arms are pressed against the top of Mount Tai, and the bright sword light flashes in front of my eyes. Holy light is the energy he is most afraid of. The ogre leader groaned, like a ball. He was pressed to the ground by Yi Bai's sword, smashing the rocks with a rumble, spitting blood. Yi Bai was holding up his lightsaber and planning to pursue the victory. Unexpectedly, a rock spear suddenly protruded under his feet. With the force of his arms, he immediately broke the magic attack that was entangled in him. Haven't waited to continue the hunt. The 2-headed ogre had already chanted the magic spell, and a 10-meter-sized grimace rushed towards Yi Bai. The ogre warrior holding the battle axe did not know when to recover, was healed by the 2-headed ogre, and entangled Yi Bai again. The ogre leader was able to escape the catastrophe, and quickly got up and regained his strength. This human being is extraordinary, possibly a different species. Then rely on the old tactics and slowly grind him to death. I can't believe how long he can stay in this state. The 3 ogre leaders cooperated seamlessly, one layer after another. Yi Bai finally knew their troubles. At the same time, he was also vigilant. In the slash just now, my lightsaber couldn't break through the slightest. Still relying on brute force to press on the ogre leader, that is a bit of a threat to the bone sledgehammer, so be careful. The double-headed ogre has an old yin bi, while adding status and healing to them. On the other hand, they cast spells to attack and block me. To break the deadlock, the 2-headed ogre must be killed first. Yi Bai was a little anxious. After all, the light giant state can only last for 3 minutes. If you can't decide between life and death in these 3 minutes, then you will be unlucky. At the same time, his identification technique swept towards the white bone sledgehammer and gave its detailed information. Ogre's legacy white bone hammer, the low-level holy rank weapon, is the treasure of the ogre's inheritance. It is made of unknown giant beast bones. It has been sacrificed by the ogres of all dynasties, and inlaid with magic runes, it is extremely lethal and unbreakable. No wonder the Wanren Holy Light Sword can't break defenses, it's higher than its level. However, when the two sides were at a standoff, there was a sudden scream of panic from outside the magic cave. And the enemy, boom, the terrified cries of the ogres were drowned out by the explosion. Holy light, let the light purify everything. Accompanied by 2 unanimous voices, holy light filled the demon cave, causing all the ogres to close their eyes in pain. The 2-headed ogre cried out in horror. Hurry up and stop them from advancing, don't let them converge. At this moment, there were a series of earth-shattering shouts from outside the cave. Vengeance for lost compatriots. Fight for the glory of Loran City. Smash this group of demons and fight for the gold mine. Hobgoblins, dungeon warriors, kobolds, and others came fully armed, rushed into it like a tide, and harvested the seriously injured ogres. At the same time, a red figure flew over quickly, like a tactical bomber, spewing out one after another scorching dragon breath. It turned the devil's cave into purgatory, burning the group of silver ogres. Alice, good time. Surprised that old guy. Yi Bai's eyes lit up, and he hurriedly called for assistance. Alice's fighting power was far more amazing than Yi Bai thought. Not only is the speed of flapping the dragon wings amazing, but at the same time, her excellent physical defense and magic resistance make her pass through the enemy's formation, seemingly not afraid of siege. The faces of the 3 ogre leaders changed drastically when they saw this. It's the Dragon Vein Warlock, stop her! The 2-headed ogre screamed in horror. His own movement speed is not as fast as Alice's, and even if he flies, it is far worse than her. Before waiting for the ogre warriors to rush forward to block, just listen to a blasting chant. Where the 2-headed ogre is bombed by fighter jets. There was a rumbling explosion, and the rock collapsed and overwhelmed it. Yi Bai laughed loudly, wielding 2 swords to harvest the weakest ogre warrior. The addition of the goblin army made the ogres panic. And Alice became the last straw that broke the camel's back, because of her superior professional talent. She is much more threatening than the average gold level. Flying in the air, like a bomber, extremely fast, changing directions at will. It can also spit dragon breath, cast blasting magic. The top-notch golden double-headed ogre fell to the ground, submerged by the blasting magic, and could not rise again. Yi Bai grinned and stabbed the ogre warrior with a sword. It is the weakest among the 3 bosses, but the health bar is not low. In an emergency, he propped up his pitted shield in an attempt to block the fatal blow. Another ogre chief's expression changed drastically, and he hurriedly threw a bone sledgehammer at Yi Bai's legs, trying to hold it up. Yi Bai's expression did not change, and the lightsaber still stabbed at the ogre warrior. At the same time, the legs are covered with a layer of armed domineering, hard to resist the opponent's damage. And when the lightsaber pierced the shield, the vicissitudes of the shield could no longer withstand it. With a bang, it turned into countless fragments and flew away. The lightsaber suddenly stabbed at the ogre warrior. At the moment of the stab, the lightsaber burst out with 10,000 blades, instantly destroying all the internal organs and vitality of the ogre warrior. Kill the opponent in an instant. Congratulations on successfully killing the intermediate golden boss ogre warrior. Leapfrog challenge, experience points increase. The balance of this battle for survival has clearly changed. When the 2-headed ogre roared and got up from the ground, it was impossible to save the situation. Alice still spit out dragon breath in the air, obliterating the silver ogre. I also threw a blasting magic to it. Even if the 2-headed ogre has great abilities, it cannot show it. Can only be held back by Alice. The ogre chief's expression changed greatly, and the bone sledgehammer slammed into Yi Bai's leg, which did not cause much damage to the opponent. He sensed something, and quickly reached out to take the sledgehammer that was turned back, intending to escape. I want to escape back underground and let the king destroy you. However, before he could escape, the bone sledgehammer that was about to fall into the palm of his hand suddenly flew out. I saw that a golden fishing rod appeared in Yi Bai's hand at an unknown time, and he caught the bone hammer with precision. This inheritance tool fell into Yi Bai's hands, which completely represented that the ogre had no hope. The one that made him the most dreaded was the two-headed ogre, and the other was this weapon. The ogre chief, who lost all aid, was unable to restore the overall situation, and could not even escape. A lightsaber owl head covered with an armed color by Yi Bai, a very large head flew out. It made the goblins roar wildly and fight fiercely. They have their revenge. The eyes of the other remaining ogres are despair, and their resistance to resistance has been reduced by 3 points. Congratulations on successfully taking away the hammer of ogre inheritance. Congratulations on beheading the senior gold ogre leader. The morale of the ogre tribe has dropped, and the average combat power is -30%. The overall situation has been decided. You have won this crucial battle. The biggest threat has not yet been resolved. Yi Bai's eyes were cold, and he ran towards the two-headed ogre. The expression of the two-headed ogre changed drastically, waving a bone scepter and shouting. You really think you've got us fixed? Merely a group of food, we are just the vanguard from the ground. Wait for me to lead the ogre king to revenge. His two heads quickly chant something. At the same time, in a corner in the depths of the magic cave, a rock suddenly exploded. A large black hole with a diameter of 10 meters was revealed. The two-headed ogre was windy under the feet, and suddenly rushed towards the big hole when no one expected it. Warning! Warning! The two-headed ogre attempts to escape back underground and move reinforcements. If you let go, the consequences will be unimaginable, and the city of Loran will face extinction. A red reminder appeared in front of Yi Bai. Yi Bai's expression didn't change, he just waved his hand lightly. Throw the heavens and the earth. At the critical moment, there is a trick to press the bottom of the box. But this time, Yi Bai was reluctant to spend too much money. The last crit hit has not returned to the present. He spent more than 10 tons of gold in distress, displaying a golden rain like a money dart. Shrouded the legs of the two-headed ogre. This is also a tactic recently developed by Yi Bai. The Chenkin throw has the highest priority and can be automatically locked. If used well, just spend a little money, you can lock the enemy and interrupt the enemy's spell. As predicted, no matter how the two-headed ogre accelerates or casts a spell to resist, he could only watch the money darts smash into his legs, which greatly reduced his movement speed. It hurts. What kind of magic is this? The two-headed ogre could no longer climb over 10 meters away from the passage. Yi Bai carried his lightsaber and chased after him. Without the aid of two golden warriors, the two-headed ogre had no hope of confronting Yi Bai. He was hammered to the ground and nailed to death with a sword. The Wanren Holy Light sword shot out countless to settle aurora in his body. Destroy its heart and soul in less than a second. Congratulations on your successful leapfrog beheading the top gold boss double-headed ogre. With the fall of this voice, this key battle came to an end. At the same time, the batch of experiences that emerged from the two-headed ogre made Yi Bai extremely comfortable. He gradually withdraws from the light giant form. In less than 3 minutes, successfully killed 3 high-level gold. This record, he has never seen in the database. Moreover, the terrain here also limited his strongest speed. It is conceivable that Yi Bai's current combat power. With the warmth of the body, a message came. Congratulations on your successful evolution to intermediate silver, your strength has been greatly improved, your fruit ability has been strengthened, and your transformation will last longer. I won't be a 3-point real man anymore. Yi Bai retracted his lightsaber and began to pick treasures from the 3 bosses. The goblin chiefs mentioned before that they have several S cards. Alice continued to bombard other ogres in the air, a battle that brought the goblins to tears. No one of the core personnel of Loran City died, only a few kobolds died of serious injuries. Among them, the cannibal flower is especially fierce, fighting against the ogre, eating each other. Many cannibals besieged ogres and ate their blood, so they evolved into silver-level ogres. The leader of the cannibal flower saw Yi Bai kill the golden ogre, and came over even more. Licking his tongue and complimenting him. What's wrong? Yi Bai was touching the corpse and looked at the coquettish leader of the piranha with a puzzled face. It's not like your style, I still like your rebellious look. Brother, it is begging you to feed the ogre leader, and it can evolve. Maya on the side explained with a smile. Well, anyway, we don't eat the ogre's meat, and it's all digested for you. Yi Bai waved his hand, which made the piranhas happy. Shaking the flowers one by one, they continued to eat the ogres. Our companions are still alive. On the other side, the hobgoblins also received good news. After digging a cave, hundreds of goblins were rescued from it that had not been eaten up. Immediately, relatives and friends alternated, crying and grateful. Thank you for your revenge, you saved our rainforest goblins. From then on, we will do whatever the city lord commands. 35. The old goblin chief said with tears and snot. It contributed very little in this battle. Just killed 2 silver ogres, mostly too old. Therefore, seeing Yi Bai's majesty and Alice's strength, he admired even more. Yi Bai nodded. They are also public enemies of mankind. But I see the threat of ogres here. In the future, you will move to Loran City. My mine is in urgent need of manpower, and I can join a group to keep warm. The goblins naturally agreed, and they, who were on the verge of genocide, had no ability to refute. Congratulations on successfully conquering the S-rank monster card, Rainforest Goblin Tribe. Please use it well, if it is too wasteful to be a slave. This news made Yi Bai grin. Counting the rescued goblins, more than 700 goblins joined, which made the strength of Loran City skyrocket. The most important thing is that there is no shortage of labor. Goblin fighting is not good, but it is a must in technology, mining, and underground reconnaissance. At this time, he also gained something from touching the corpse. Congratulations on your successful acquisition of a top-notch golden bone staff, an ogre's firm vest. Rage Necklace X1, Broken Shield Fragment X100, Rainforest Swamp Belt, for A-level territory cards, Ogre Slaves, for A-level monster cards. Yi Bai looked at the thing in his hand, disappointed. That's it, what about the good S-rank cards? And isn't it more than one? The goblin chief quickly explained. 2 precious treasures, they must be hidden. We just need to spend more time looking for them. This simple, Yi Bai directly called fortune and prosperity. The 2 pets were not interested in the environment of the magic cave, and showed disgusted expressions. Yi Bai urged, you 2 quickly look for the hidden treasure. The ogres plundered the surrounding groups, and they should have hidden a lot of good things. Remember, don't lose a single piece of gold to me. Wong, meow. Prosperity and lucky fortune disappeared in a hurry, and it began to compete for who could find the treasure faster. There are 2 of them, basically do not have to worry about missing anything. Yi Bai checked the treasure in his hand. White bone staff. The top golden magic staff is made of bone marrow of 100 tribes. Because magic weapons themselves are several times more expensive than similar weapons. This wand is even more extraordinary. 10 times the price of gold weapons of the same level. Effect. Increases the casting speed by 50%, strengthens the power of magic by 10%, and saves 20% of the magic power. Good things. Put on blue star. The price is not less than 1 billion star coins. Yi Bai waved. Alice, come down and see. This staff is good and can also be used as a melee weapon. I will send it to you later. Alice fell in the air and took the bone staff with a strange expression on her face. Brother, can you give me better looking equipment in the future? The property is nice, but the appearance is too. Cough, I will send you a diamond staff next time. Yi Bai was slightly embarrassed, and looked at the other 2 pieces of equipment and 2 A-rank cards. Ogre's solid vest. Ogre Chief's favorite piece of equipment, advanced gold level. Provides very good defense and a certain amount of magic resistance. It can also get bigger and smaller as the ogre grows. Rage Necklace. Intermediate gold equipment. After wearing it, it can enhance the combat power. At the same time, it has the madness skill, which temporarily increases all attributes by 30%, at the cost of sacrificing the brain. These 2 pieces of equipment were released by the ogre leader and the warrior respectively, and they were quite personal. Yi Bai planned to take it back and let Zhuan wash it off before putting it on. It's better than nothing. The other 2 cards are very useful. Rainforest Swamp Belt. A-level territory card, a rainforest conquered by ogres, covering an area of 5 kilometers. After use, own territory will get a swamp belt. Produce reeds, peat moss, frogs, ducks, geese and other characteristic creatures. The swamp itself is also a very good fertilizer. Quote, Ogre Slaves A-level monster card. After use, you can get 10 silver level ogre slaves. They are hardworking, and strong. Just eat a lot and look ugly. Quote, the latter card added 10 more coolies of the white level to the mine. Don't look at the battle just now, the ogre tribe was defeated. That's why Yi Bai half abandoned them in the first place. The 10 ogre slaves here alone can compete with 20 goblins of the same level. Before Yi Bai didn't come, didn't the goblin tribe almost exterminate? Others began to organize the battlefield, and the miners found many scattered gems, gold, etc. in the cave. These are small heads. The rescued goblins comforted each other and comforted each other. The piranha is the biggest winner, catching the ogre and eating it continuously. Perhaps because of their closeness, they were particularly excited. Represented by the piranha leader, Big Mouth, they began to evolve frequently. Especially the Big Mouth. This accumulation has been deep, after eating the ogre warrior, the leader, and the two-headed ogre successively. The whole body began to glow, and the fragrance of the dragon that it radiated became stronger and stronger. Its body began to grow taller rapidly, the purple flowers were rich. In the blink of an eye, it has become a super piranha that is 5 or 6 meters high. At the same time, other species of the same species also began to evolve. Moreover, seeds were sown on the ogre corpses, and brand new ogre flowers grew out of their bodies. In a blink of an eye, the number of piranhas doubled to 200. Congratulations to your ogre flower card for successfully devouring the ogre tribe, and all have evolved. The leader devoured 3 golden ogres with Big Mouth and successfully evolved into intermediate gold, super dragon fragrant ogres. Another 15 piranhas were upgraded to silver rank, and an additional 100 newborn, top bronze piranhas. Congratulations to your A-level card, Dragon Blood Piranha Illustration, for successfully evolving into S-level, Bloody Piranha. To Yi Bai's great surprise, the piranha evolved so fast, it deserves to be a xenogeniac with dragon blood. I'm afraid I will eat more in the future. Yi Bai muttered and walked into that underground black hole. The goblin chief, Alice, Grandpa Jack, Akong and others also gathered around to study. That group of nasty ogres came out of here, and they heard us. The goblin chief wanted to drop the dynamite and blow it up. Alice stopped. This is just to startle the snake. If they don't know what is underground, it will only make them more vigilant. Yi Bai approached to observe, and there was a sound of ghostly crying and howling from inside the cave. At the same time, his divine eyes and identification techniques are fully opened. After a while, a line of detailed introduction appeared before us. Underground passage, a passage leading to a depth of 10,000 meters, which contains meager space power. At the other end, there seems to be a huge ogre tribe with more than 10,000 people hidden. The strength is extremely terrifying, and the difficulty is judged as SSS. Please be careful. Yi Bai's eyelids jumped from the 3 S's. This battle for survival is not over yet. The two-headed ogre said before that he wanted to move rescue soldiers, and there is still another ogre king. I really don't know what the strength of the other party is. Yi Bai estimates that the worst has a diamond grade. And at this time, as everyone cleared the battlefield, the system's voice sounded from Yi Bai's ears. Congratulations on successfully completing the S-level survival mission, annihilating the mortal enemy of Loran City, and expanding the territory to the Yama Rainforest. Your outstanding performance has conquered the surrounding monsters and won the goblins to take refuge in. This battle is perfect. This battle is too important, so in addition to personal announcements, there is also an annual announcement. Annual announcement. Congratulations to Yi Bai, Lord of Loran City, for successfully completing the S-level survival battle, evaluation, S-level perfect. As a new rookie king, he not only eliminates the enemy of life and death, but also eliminates hidden dangers. He also conquered the goblin tribe with perfection and won rich spoils. The world rewards it. S-rank resource card, the Fountain of Life. With the appearance of this announcement, Yi Bai's mining farm ranking suddenly jumped from 98 to 95. Like a stone thrown into the lake, the chat room suddenly boiled. This rookie king is not bad. There have been several announcements within 2 days of the promotion. It seems that the hidden strength is very strong, and it can perfectly clear the S-level mission. Although there is still a clear gap with Jackson and other bigwigs, they are ahead by 11 months. The top 10 bosses were all rookie kings at the time, and Yibai has only been through a week now. If it goes on like this, I am afraid that it will catch up soon. Come on, it's open. Let's see when Yibai can make the top 10. Because of Yibai's big moves in the past, many big mine owners are interested in paying attention. Paul, who had hatred, regretted, it's a pity that the group of ogres were not strong enough to escape him. It's a battle for survival. One bad, the whole army is wiped out. Surprisingly, the number 1 Jackson also came out. As the strongest player of the Yan Kingdom this year, your performance is indeed surprising. However, just at the current growth rate, this year's newcomer Wang Ke will belong to our lighthouse country. And it will be 10 consecutive championships. Yibai also took the time to reply. That's a pity, it seems that your hopes of winning the championship this year are going to be dashed. There are still 28 days until the settlement, I believe there is no need to wait until the end of the month to have the results. Haha, young people are self-confidence. My confidence comes from the world's number 1 superpower. Unless you sell the shares of the mine and let Yang Guo transfuse blood in large quantities. Even send a master to manage the operation, otherwise I can't see your hope of success. Jackson is very confident. His father, a former star of the Lighthouse Nation. He himself is the second generation of the strongest mine, with unique resources. A formidable foe. Yibai turned off the panel, and a golden card with a picture of Bobo gushing out of the spring fell from the air into his hand. He caught it and saw that it was the S card and solved his own water resources. But what I didn't expect was that after the survival mission was completed, there was even a reminder. Warning, you have completed the S-level mission, but this mission is also involved in the underground SSS level survival challenge mission, and the situation is still dangerous. You killed the 2-headed ogre, causing the task time to be delayed. But the group of ogres from the underground will eventually reach the surface in the near future. That will be a terrifying strength of more than 10,000 warriors, please be prepared. This information made Yibai's joy instantly drop. It's really not that simple. The battle of life and death at the SSS level is a bit difficult. Brother, this passage is a bit dangerous, we have to send someone to guard it. If there is an ogre reappearing, you can find it as soon as possible. Alice obviously thought of this, a little worried. The goblins even suffered from ogre PTSD, and when they heard that there were ogres appearing, many goblins were trembling with fear. Yibai stood up in time to stabilize people's hearts. Don't worry, I'm here. Don't be afraid, as long as you give me enough wealth. Not to mention a mere ogre, I have killed even an epic Balrog. Speaking of which, Yibai revealed an epic brilliance. That's the proof that epic creatures have been killed. The well-informed goblin chief widened his eyes and looked at the bright light on his body tremblingly. The city lord, he really killed the epic creature, not a fake. Can you beat them just by having money? We may not be able to fight with goblins, but we still have confidence in mining gold underground. The wealth of the city owner will be handed over to us. Luo. Yibai went down with chicken soup. The goblins are rejuvenated, it is really too bad to be attacked before. Reminder. Facing the threat of SSS level ogres, the loyalty of the goblin tribe is +20, and the work efficiency is increased by 100%. If the ogres are not eradicated for a day, they will not dare to relax for a day. It was a surprise, but at the same time, the threat of the ogre is also like the sword of Damocles, always vigilant against Yibai. At that time, if you do not accumulate enough wealth, or develop a strong enough force, the day when the ogres appear, is also the day of their own destruction. I still need money, how can I buy food and develop power without money? When Yibai was frowning, he suddenly received an unexpected surprise. Wow! Wang Kai shook his tail and jumped out from a corner happily. Lucky is not a few steps slower than it, jumped up from the other corner, and jumped on Yibai's shoulders to ask for credit. Congratulations to your pet for successfully discovering the 2 secret treasure houses of the ogre, namely the treasury and the hidden treasure house. Yibai's spirit was shocked. He touched the heads of the 2 pets and waved his hand. Go and see our spoils. The ogres have stolen hundreds of tons of gold from us, and there must be quite a few treasures. 35. When the group went around the one-punch tunnel and arrived at the vault under the leadership of Wang Kai, everyone was fascinated by the massive amount of gold that covered the cave. That is definitely the most wealth Yi Bai has ever seen. The gold dug from the entrance of the abyss before is not as good. The well-informed Grandpa Jack and the Goblin Chief were also stunned and exclaimed, "The ogres won't bring out all the gold in the ground." Yi Bai took a deep breath. "Count the number of gold, don't miss a piece of gold. Don't let go of other silver, rare ores, even a diamond. Follow your orders." 35. Everyone shouted in unison, "What's better than picking up money?" Yi Bai even thinks, "Stop mining in the future, robbing directly will make more money." I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.